I played 300 Days in Stardew Valley for the very first time. Yes, hello everyone, and welcome back if you've previously watched my last 100 and 200 day playthroughs of Stardew Valley. If not, I'll go ahead and link those videos in the description box down below if you'd like to watch my blind playthrough of this game from the very beginning. I am continuing right where I left off, playing another 100 fantastic days in this amazingly addicting game, and just like my last two videos, I had a ton of fun roaming around the valley. Once again, I am playing the game without using the Stardew Wiki and without having watched any other playthroughs of the game. I wanted to discover and learn all I can about this game without spoiling myself prior, and the non-spoiler tips everyone has been leaving me in the comments has honestly helped me out so much, because there are aspects of this game that I probably wouldn't have been able to figure out otherwise. So again, I encourage non-spoiler tips and tricks if you would like to leave any on this video. I'd so appreciate it. Alright, that being said, here are my goals for my 300 day playthrough. I want to completely upgrade my house, fix Willie's boat and get to the island, have max hearts with all villagers, and complete all Monster Slayer goals. Thanks for joining me on this adventure once again, and let's head back into the valley. Welcome back, everyone. I'm so glad to be back in the valley for more Stardew. There's so much more I've yet to see and do in this game, so let's get to it. I have no idea where to start though. Let's first check back in on our cute animals and get some artisan goods going, which have remained my main source of income. I also have a bunch of crops just sitting in my chest that I have no idea what to do with. Maybe I should focus on making more kegs and preserve jars to make even more money, which I'm sure I'll need. I received a letter from Caroline with a vegetable medley recipe, and I got a monster musk recipe from Rasmodius after delivering the prismatic jelly last playthrough. He also asked for an iridium bar, and luckily I have one, so I made my way over there to give it to him right away so we can start this playthrough off strong by completing a quest. I then poked around in his tower trying to find anything new, and I was able to go through this little hatch on the floor. And inside there was a creepy statue which stated I could change my appearance for 500 gold, so I decided to look into it. And I found out it brings you back to the character creator from the beginning of the game. Cool. I gave myself a new hairstyle because why not? And it looks kinda cute. I then went to the saloon to say hello to everyone, bought a Joja Cola to give to Sam, went back to the farm to gather my artisan goods to sell, gathered some crops from my greenhouse, and ended the day. The next morning, I decided to round up a few gifts that people in the village like, as I want to gain maximum hearts with everyone this playthrough. I made a few dishes such as pumpkin pie and an autumn's bounty, and figured I could put corn or sunflowers into the oil machines to make different types of oil, and I was right. So we'll see what it makes when I'm done. All right, let's head into town, and I found Pam and gave her a parsnip. I then accepted another fishing request on the board, said hi to Sebastian, and gave Evelyn a tulip. I then found Harvey at the museum and gave him some coffee, gave Elliot a pomegranate, said hi to Shane, and it's so nice to see him smiling, gave Haley a sunflower, gave Vincent some grapes, Jas got a fairy rose flower, Abigail got an amethyst, and I earned an achievement after doing so. From there, I found Marnie and gave her some pumpkin pie, Leia got a truffle, and finally the mayor got the autumn's bounty I cooked up. From there, I decided to try and catch the 3 pike needed for that quest, and I actually managed to catch all 3. What a shocker. Usually the fishing requests never go my way. The next morning, I learned how to make poppy seed muffins on the TV. Thank you, Queen of Sauce. I also received a letter from Emily asking me to go to the mayor's house because she wants to test a new idea she's calling clothing therapy. I kinda don't trust her fashion sense anymore. She thought cosplaying as the kid from It and sporting an Amish outfit was fashionable, so I don't know. And tomorrow is the Festival of Ice with the fishing competition. Did I win that last time? I don't think I did. So I guess that means I need to. I also collected the oil from the corn I started yesterday. Just regular cooking oil. Seems good to me. I then made my way to Robin's and upgraded my house to have a cellar which cost 100,000 gold. my most expensive renovation yet, but I wanted to get this bad boy out of the way at the start of this playthrough. I also turned in the fish request to Demetrius, earned a prize ticket, and went to the mayor's house to spend the ticket and meet with Emily. Emily invited a group of people over to try out her clothing therapy idea. She said she's seen people struggling with personal issues and stress, and wanted to come up with a way to help alleviate those heavy feelings by offering a way for people to express themselves with fashion. So basically, we get to play dress up. And Shane was up first, and oh my goodness, Shane. He looks like a rock star. He was nonchalant about it though. Robin looks so cute. Okay, Mare. Purple and classy. Okay, Abigail's next. I knew her outfit was going to be battle related in some way. Next, it was Clint's turn, and he was nervous. She thought it was adorable, but he didn't seem happy that she called his outfit cute. Aw, that's okay, Clint. Also, Emily is such a cutie patootie, and her blushing avatar is precious. Clint came storming back in, saying he didn't want to break out of his shell after all, and he seemed to have walked in on us having a moment, I suppose, and congratulated us. Clint, my dude, stop. Once that was over, I used the prize ticket and earned a few bombs in return, which will come in handy when I try to complete 100 levels of the Skull Caverns. From there, I made my way to the Adventurers Guild as I completed a monster goal last playthrough and never received my reward, which was a vampire ring with the ability to gain back a small amount of health every time I slay a monster. For the rest of the evening, I just planted the new winter melon seeds I found throughout the valley and ended the day. Today is the Festival of Ice, so we'll be attending that. And I think I said this before, but I wish the dialogue in the game was a bit more expanded. At least to show some recognition that we are more than just casual friends with our romantic partners. That's the only thing I felt that's lacking in my opinion so far. Still love the game, but just thought I'd bring it up. Okay, let's see what's for sale. And immediately, I want to buy this Christmas tree. It's a bit expensive, yes, but look at it. It's so cute. So I bought it. Once I was done saying my hellos, I started the ice fishing competition. And it's kind of annoying how you were able to catch the really hard fish on the line. I wish it was just the easy ones, but I caught 6, and it seems like I actually won. I'm honestly flabbergasted. I thought I'd definitely lose to Willie. Make sure you get a good photo of me and my trophy, Haley. And when I got home, I placed down my tree. Isn't it adorable? I'll find a better spot for it later, but it's super cozy and oh so festive. The next morning, I went to the secret woods to gather some hardwood, and I now have the 200 pieces needed to repair part of Willie's boat. So I made my way over there to donate the wood, and now that's one less thing I have to worry about collecting. Now I just need 5 battery packs and 5 iridium ore. I can change my bobber? That's so cute! Why am I now just finding out about this? Adorable. I ran to the request board, and both quests had to do with slaying monsters, which is perfect because I need to finish those monster slaying goals anyways. I picked the wizard's quest to gather ectoplasm from the ghosts, so we'll head into the mines tomorrow. Bright and early the next day, I headed to the mines to start the ghost slaying request, and I started on level 60 because I remember running into ghosts on the ice levels. And I did run into quite a few, but I wasn't able to find any ectoplasm. I am getting a good amount of experience destroying a bunch of the other monsters I need for the Monster Slayer goals though, so I can't complain. When I went to sleep, I leveled up my combat skill to 9, unlocking a new crafting recipe and a new cooking recipe. Day number 2 resulted in a whole lot of nothing as well, and because I came up empty-handed in terms of ectoplasm, I'll need to do another cave run tomorrow. I quickly took care of my animals and then headed back to the mines for day 3 of trying to find that freaking ectoplasm, and once again, I got a whole bunch of nothing. Either the drop rate is extremely low for this item, or I'm extremely unlucky. I only have 2 more days to find this ectoplasm. God, it's giving me anxiety. Well, back to the mines we go. Oh my god. Thank you. After 4 days of looking, I can finally breathe again. I immediately dropped off the goo to the wizard, and he always shoos me away after I do these impossible tasks for him. It's no wonder he's divorced. Oh, there's 2 raccoons now. He found a wife. Oh, let's see. Well, this looks a bit easier than his last request. And it seems I can trade seeds, moss, and sap for more rare seasonal seeds from the lady raccoon. That's awesome. These little guys are so adorable. I'm so happy that I made them a little home. The next day, I received a mini obelisk crafting recipe from Rasmodius, which functions like a fast travel of sorts, which sounds useful. First, I want to go visit Clint because I have a ton of geodes I need to open. But the mayor's home opened up first, so I turned in my prize ticket from Rasmodius' quest and earned a sports cap. Alright. I then opened up all my geodes and mystery boxes, and unfortunately, I didn't find anything new, which is a bummer. My animals were once again out of hay, so I had to go buy more from Marnie because, of course I did. And then I decided to craft a few more things. I crafted 2 dehydrators and 6 more lightning rods, as I've noticed you need battery packs for a lot of crafting recipes, so I'd like to be able to collect more. I also crafted a few stone lights and randomly placed them on the farm because it's so dark at night. And now I have a bit more light, which is lovely. Now that I have a dehydrator, I went ahead and started dehydrating some crystal berries and made some coconut jelly, I think it was, for the little raccoons. I'm gonna work on some friendship goals today for a bit, and everyone is getting flowers because I'm feeling lazy and I have a bunch that I have no idea what to do with. So that's what I did. I gave everyone flowers that I still need hearts with, and while entering Sam's house, I ran into a cutscene with Jody. She was making popcorn in the kitchen, and Kent was triggered by the popping noise as he has PTSD from fighting in a war. He started talking about the friends he lost during his time overseas, and that his time in that environment has changed him in a lot of ways. Then Jody asked me to say something. Girl, he's your husband. You should comfort him. My goodness. All right, well, let's take the middle ground here. And it seems to have worked, as he apologized and she came to an understanding about his trauma. While on my excursion, I ran into another cutscene with Harvey and George. George was getting a checkup, and Harvey said he needed to make some lifestyle changes in order to stay healthy. But you know, George is a stubborn old man. Well, I told George to listen to the doctor, obviously. I'm not an idiot, and the advice wasn't even that drastic. While snooping, I found a letter in Evelyn's bedroom that seems to be from her daughter and Alex's mom. It was super sad, and it seems like she passed away and asked them to take care of her son. Aw, poor Alex. Now I know why he was sad during Christmas. The night market was about to start, so I made my way to the beach, and I bought the Lupini painting that was available. It was just some clouds, but it looked nice. I also decided to watch the mermaid show again because I wanted to see if I could get another pearl with the secret code, but it doesn't seem like you can. What a bummer. I bought a few decorations because why not? And then headed home. The next morning, I received an escargot recipe from Willie and decided to head back to the mines. I currently have 2 active mine quests. A simple one I grabbed on the board the other day by Pierre's to defeat one Squid Kid monster, which is the meatball looking thing, and a larger task to collect 100 bone fragments, which I believe can be found from the skeletons, which are on the lower levels of the mines. So back we go. I want to try to complete more board quests this time around, as I usually receive crafting recipes in return, so I figure they are important to complete. On level 93, I found one of the meatballs and destroyed him, completing that objective. Now I just need to find bone fragments. I ended up exploring a few floors and found the skeletons on floor 70, so I kept moving from that floor onwards. I briefly made my way out of the mines to check what was for sale at the night market, and I bought yet another Lupini painting, a stone parrot, and a bomb for the mines. I was going to hop back into the mines for a while longer, but I realized today was the final day to turn in the Squid Kid request from the wizard, so I made my way to his tower to talk to him and completed that request. And as it was late, I decided to stay on the farm and do a few random things for the remainder of the day. Wait, the cellar comes with barrels already? Are you kidding me? That's freaking amazing. I take it I can add more barrels down here as well, given I was able to remove one. I have a feeling this room is going to be quite useful. So I grabbed some cheese from my barn to test it out, and I noticed gold stars showed up on the barrels, which is interesting. I'll keep my eyes on the cheese over the next few days and see what we get. Okay, off to the mines, but first I wanted to stop by the carpenters to figure out how much money I need for the other home upgrades. And there was a new option called community upgrades, and I have the option to build Pam a home. Oh my god, I can build Pam and Penny a home? Penny has frequently told me how sad and embarrassed she is being the only one in town who lives in a trailer. I just know it would make her so happy, and that makes me happy. If only Linus would accept that offer too. I get that he's against it, so I'll respect that boundary of his. Okay, let's see if I can achieve this during the playthrough as well. An additional goal has been added. Let's make Penny's day, and Pam's too, but she needs to get her act together. Alright, let's go kill some skeletons. And while working on that quest, I completed the skeleton monster slayer goal. Heck yeah! I now have a total of 34 bones collected, and I left around 9:30 to quickly check out the night market once again, where I purchased the Lupini painting and a stone owl, and that was it. Oh my god, you guys! I got Linus as my Secret Santa this year! I'll have to cook him something special. Oh! I'm so happy. The artisan goods I set up in my shed for the raccoons a few days ago finished, so I went ahead and grabbed them, rode to their cute little house, and gave them the items they asked for. As a reward, I got a book called The Raccoon Journal, and now they're going to have a little raccoon family! Oh, I'm so excited to see the baby raccoons. I read the book, which I guess just gives me foraging experience. Probably should have saved it for the bookseller. And quickly dropped by my cellar to add the wine I had on me in the barrels as well. Alright, back to farming the skeleton dudes, and I managed to gather a decent amount of bone fragments, now totaling 62 out of 100, so we're getting there, you guys. Alright, you know what's on the agenda today? That's right. More mining. I am happy that it seems like I'm completing a bunch of Monster Slayer goals so far this playthrough, so maybe I'll actually be able to complete the whole roster this time around. I spent the whole day in the mines, and right at 1 AM, I completed my goal of collecting 100 bone fragments, so we'll drop this request off tomorrow. Early the next morning, I went ahead and donated the bone fragments to the museum, earning me 3,500 gold. I then said hi to Clint and had him open up all the geodes I've collected while mining, which provided me with one new item I was able to donate to the museum. Next, I crafted 2 more furnaces because I had a lot of ore I needed to smelt into metal bars, and I crafted 6 big chests because I'm a hoarder and having more space to hoard is a win in my book. Look at all the space in here. It's beautiful. So I set them up and spent a little bit of time organizing everything inside and started to just place all the random furniture in my home that I had stored in my chest outside. Don't worry, I'm eventually gonna have a dedicated decorating day where I just freak out all day long and make this house a home. I also had that weird alien thing in my inventory and decided to place it next to Pierre's shop because I was able to place it in town for some reason. Well, guess we'll see what happens. The next morning, I received a crafting recipe for a bone mill from Gunther and decided to, once again, do a little gift giving today. I gathered up a bunch of items that the villagers love according to the secret notes, cooked up a few dishes, and then headed into town. A sunflower for Haley, like always, grapes for Vincent, blueberry cobbler for Abigail, and when talking to Caroline, I got a little more information for that weird altar room in their home, and it seems that it came with the house and they don't use it, but let the townsfolk who are religious use it if they want. That's pretty cool. I found Kent and Jody in the altar room, and I gave Kent some roasted hazelnuts and Jody some pancakes. I found Harvey upstairs in his house and gave him some coffee, found Maru and gave her a strawberry, sweet little granny gets a tulip, and I stopped by the mayor's house to use my prize ticket and got another dehydrator. I gave Elliot a pomegranate, Penny was at the community center and I gave her an emerald, I gave Alex the complete breakfast dish, Marty got a pumpkin pie, and I baked a poppy seed muffin for Leia. Let's see. I then gave the mayor his favorite Autumn's bounty dish, and that was the end of my gift giving session today. I think we made some great progress increasing our friendship with the town, and hopefully a few more heart events will pop up during this playthrough. I ran to Robin's when she was open to add another room to my home. This time I added an attic, leaving just 2 more rooms. Once I was done, I went into town and ran into a heart event of Alex's. Finally, we'll get some more info on Alex. And I come to find that there's actually a dog in this doghouse area. Kind of a sad little area for the dog though. Alex was talking to the dog, whose name is Dusty, saying that he's the only one who truly understands him. And then I popped out of the bushes because of course I did. Alex was a bit startled. Don't blame him. And then the sad music started playing, so here we go, you guys. Dramatic backstory time. He was explaining why he lives with his grandparents. He said his dad was an awful person who was either absent or drunk and demeaning him constantly. One day his dad left for good, and soon after his mom got sick and died, leaving him no other choice than to live with his grandparents. Because he trusted me, he was willing to tell me his story. Aw, thanks, Alex. I do wish we were able to see and interact with Dusty on the daily though. Cute little doggo. I accepted another bug request on the community board, this time to destroy 50 grubs, and I made my way to the Adventurers Guild to claim my last Monster Slayer reward, a skeleton mask. And when I went snooping in the back, I found a present and opened it up, receiving a book called Map Caving Systems. I fired up some more metal bars, and after a few more farm chores, I headed to sleep. I want to head back to the desert here shortly to grab some more iridium ore, but before that, I want to purchase the lava sword I saw at the guild the other day, as it's way more powerful than my current sword, and I could use all the help I can get. It's 25,000 coins if I remember correctly, so I'll sell a few unused weapons so I can purchase it today. I'm also going to craft a bunch of bombs to take with me, along with a bunch of food. I need to be well prepared. I made my way to the mine area and caught a train passing by, which awarded me some wood, gold ore, iron ore, and 14 frozen geodes. Not bad. I then mined at the quarry for a bit and opened up my new geodes at the blacksmith's, awarding me a new mineral called soapstone, which I donated. By the time I was done, the Adventurers Guild opened up and I sold a few weapons, which allowed me to buy the lava katana, which I'm super psyched about. I then went home, cooked a few more dishes to bring with me tomorrow, and spent the evening mentally preparing to go back into the Skull Cavern. If it's a lucky day tomorrow, that is. Fate was not on my side, but you know what is? Friendship. That'll be the new goal for the day, to continue increasing our friendships. I gathered some ingredients to start cooking a few meals for our lovely villagers, grabbed a few more items from my chest, and headed into town. And as always, I went around giving everyone who currently did not have 8 to 10 hearts their favorite gifts, and I found out that Sam, who used to work at Joja Mart, now works at the museum, which is interesting. After I handed out all of my beloved gifts, I purchased a little more hay from Marnie as I'm almost out. Again, ran to Pierre's to buy a few cooking ingredients, and decided to cook a few new dishes, one of which I'm going to give to Linus tomorrow for his secret Santa gift. And I kind of just started cooking everything that I haven't cooked before to fill in my little journal. I was able to cook quite a few new things, honestly, which made the completionist in me really excited. These are the moments where my hoarding skills truly shine the brightest. Alright, today is the festival, so we'll be attending that for the entire day. And hopefully we'll have good enough luck to go mining in the Skull Caverns tomorrow. I couldn't really buy anything at the shop because I'm low on cash, but I did, of course, go around talking with everyone to see what they had to say. I then gave Linus his gift, and I decided to go with a blueberry tart since he loves to forage for berries, so I'm hoping he doesn't hate it. Oh no, he hated it! Oh, I'm so upset. My day is ruined. I gave my bestie something he didn't want. Lewis was my secret Santa, and he gave me a glow ring. I have like 3 of these bad boys, Lewis. Get with the program. Well, this wasn't a very successful holiday gift exchange. Oh, come on. Why is it when I want to mine, my luck is bad? Okay, well, what else can I do today? I checked up on my barrels in the cellar, and the 3 pieces of cheese were done aging, and they seem to be iridium quality, so hopefully they'll be worth a lot more money now. I've been wanting to rearrange my farm for a while now, and I plan to move my shed closer to my home and move both the barn and coop closer to each other as well, so I think I'll tinker around with the layout options today. I recolored my coop, my house and the horse's stable. I may change it again in the future, but for now it's this cute shade of blue. I wanted to move a few more things around the farm, but Robin was off duty by the time I went back to her house. So instead, I tested out a few stone pathways to see which one I liked better. Slowly but surely, I'm starting to make my farm look a bit more decent. Today was a neutral luck day, so once again, I decided against a skull cavern run. Plus, I just remembered a few tips you guys left me in the last video that may help make my run a bit smoother, so I think I'm gonna hold off a tad bit longer and continue preparing. And from what I've been told, I can trade jade at the desert stalls for staircases on Sundays, which will make my descent a lot easier. So while I continue cloning more jade, let's head to the sewers and change my profession, as I've been told it's a smart idea to change my profession to artisan if I plan to focus on making money through selling artisan goods. So I went to the statue and I didn't see artisan as an option, but I figured it was tied to farming, so I chose that, and hopefully that was correct. I'm sure I'll figure out soon if it wasn't. From there, I decided to work on a few more Monster Slayer goals, and I decided to rough up a few more slimes, as I'm about 70% of the way done with that goal. I didn't get to stay in there as long as I wanted, but I did manage to slay a pretty good amount, and any progress is good progress. When I went to bed, I was able to re-choose my farming professions, and I don't think what I did was correct, because I didn't see artisan anywhere, so I guess I just wasted 10,000 coins. While going through my inventory, I noticed I picked up something in the mines called an ancient seed, which I've heard is a rare item, and it looks like it's an item I can donate, so I'll go ahead and do that today. And since it's Sunday, I want to head to the desert and see how many sets of stairs I can purchase with my jade as well. Right at 8 a.m., I donated the ancient seed to the museum, which unlocked a pack of ancient seeds plus the recipe, so that's exciting. I decided to plant the seed in my greenhouse while waiting for Pam to make her way to the bus stop, and then I traded my jade for 20 sets of stairs. I think I still want to grab a few more before I try my luck in the skull caverns, but I'm starting to feel a bit more confident with my preparations, so maybe I'll actually be able to make it to level 100. Next, I handed out a few more gifts to get ahead of my friendship goals for the week. I'm making really good progress with a bunch of the villagers, and I feel it in my bones, you guys. I believe I can get these jerks to completely like me before I'm done with this playthrough. Oh, I kind of forgot about this, honestly. The flesh-like alien thing escaped. Well, it's no longer my problem. Hopefully it's Pierre's. After finishing up my short gift-giving session, I decided to visit Krobus and found he had a void egg for sale. I think I was also told to incubate any type of weird eggs I come across instead of donating or selling them, so I think I may need to throw this in the incubator and see what pops out of it. Oh god, I forgot my grandpa told me he was planning to haunt me one of these days. This is highly unsettling. So hey, my grandpa came to visit me as a ghost and basically told me he's been watching my every move like a stalker from a different plane of existence, and he said he's proud of my progress and that I've surpassed his farming skills. Which, I mean, didn't seem all that difficult if we're being honest. And because he has accepted the fact that I'm able to take care of myself and the farm, he has decided to finally cross over and leave me be. Maybe? Okay. Does this mean he's gone now? Statue of Perfection. Wait, did I do something in particular to earn this? If so, I have no clue what it is or what it does. Well, if this statue has a purpose, can someone tell me? I'll just leave it here for now. Alright, I just realized the void egg I placed in the incubator won't have a chance to hatch because my coop is full, right? So let's build another coop. I could use more chickens anyways. You can never have enough chickens. I made my way into town the next morning and picked up a request on the board from Pam to whip her up something tasty, and headed to Pierre's to grab just a few seeds for this season. I'm not planning to focus too much on farming this time around, as I have plenty of other things to do. I quickly planted the seeds I bought and then made my way to the mines to continue working on Monster Slayer goals for the rest of the evening. I went around handing out flowers to everyone who still needed hearts because I don't know why, but I'm feeling lazy today. Maybe it's because I'm playing this day late at night. Don't judge me, alright? I accepted a quest for some emo frozen tears from Clint on the help wanted board. He also seems like someone who would like frozen tears. Continued gift giving, and of course, had to say hi to the boyfriend. And finally, I got some random cutesy dialogue from him. This is a rare occurrence. I thought I'd have to wait until the wedding to see those rosy cheeks again. Game, please give me more fluff. Next, I made my way back to the witch's cottage area where I still need to get past this troll guard. And while I do appreciate all the tips people leave me, someone accidentally spoiled the item I needed to get past this dude, but it's okay. I don't think I have the book in the library that would tell me what item I needed anyways. As you guys told me, I can indeed find the answer in a book, so I do appreciate the help. So I need to acquire a jar of void mayonnaise. I guess someone with freaky eyes like this would like the freaky mayonnaise. I was also told I can fish up this item in the waters right near him, so that's what I'm gonna try to do. And after about 10 tries, I caught some. That was relatively simple. So I gave this freak his food. Yeah. Hopefully I'll never have to speak to him again. But I made it into the cottage, found the wizard's ink on the table, so I'll give that back to him tomorrow, and checked out the statues in the back of the house. One was called the Shrine of Selfishness, one the Shrine of Memory, and the last was the Shrine of Night Terrors, and I guess I had the correct offering for it, but that doesn't seem like something I want to activate, right? Why would I want monsters roaming around on my farm? Anyone? Is there a good reason to do that? Are these shrines useful for anything? Well, I used the rune on the floor to leave, and it transported me to the wizard's tower. Quite the convenient shortcut. Rasmodius then awkwardly asked if I saw his ex and wanted to know if she lives alone or if she's with someone else now. This man is trying to dish any details he can out of me. My reward for fetching this ink is access to the Book of Summoning, which will allow me to summon magic buildings directly to my farm, whatever that means. Cool. Glad I finished that. Thanks for the tips, you guys. That probably would have taken me forever to figure out otherwise. Oh my god. Shut up, shut up! I can build a Junimo hut on my farm! And the cute babies can roam around and stay forever? Dude, this wizard is my hero. I can also build a variety of obelisks that can warp me to different places, and a gold clock which is extremely expensive but keeps the farm in good shape. Seems like there's a bunch of cool things I can build in the future. I also stopped by the cute raccoon couple, and it seems they have a new task for me to complete. They need some dried mushrooms and some cave carrots. Doesn't seem too difficult. What? What does that mean? This? Since when do the weeds remove my crops? That's a dirty move, game. Alright, well, I removed those stupid weeds, placed a few mixed flower seeds in their spots, added a few potatoes to my kegs because I forgot I needed to do that for Pam's request, and headed to the beach to donate the 5 battery packs to repair Willie's boat. All I need now are 5 iridium bars for the anchor, and I have 4 at home, so I just need a bit more ore. Hopefully I'll be able to find some during my next Skull Cavern run. While quickly foraging on the beach, I found an old mariner selling a mermaid's pendant for 5,000, so I thought, sure, why not, and purchased it. It's for marriage, right? Hopefully it's not a fake. It seems a bit sus, but I've acquired one. I'm not ready for a long-term commitment just yet, so Sebi is going to have to be patient. Next, I transferred my rabbits to the new coop so that the egg I'm incubating can hatch, which I'm assuming will be a void chicken or a void animal of sorts. I'm excited to see what it looks like. What? This statue gives me iridium ore? That is so freaking useful. Grandpa, coming in clutch from the great beyond. So that's useful. So stinking useful. I freaking love that. I just need one more ore and I'll be able to smelt the last needed iridium bar for Willie's boat. We're making progress faster than I thought thanks to my dead relative. It's only been a day and now there's 7 iridium ore in the purple cat shrine. Dude, this is probably the best thing I've acquired in this game so far. Let's give a round of applause to day 229 because it's the day where I finally had enough iridium ore to smelt the final and last bar needed to fix Willie's boat. I'm so happy. While I'm waiting on that, I went into town and bought a bit of sugar and oil so I can cook a few more recipes, handed out a few more gifts, and ran into another heart event, this time for Haley. She was near Marnie's ranch taking photos on her camera, saying she's been trying to connect with nature a bit more, which is lovely. Perhaps it's helped her calm down a bit? I guess she wanted to get a better idea of what my job was like, and she blushed. Girl, you look so cute. I'm guessing this must be Haley's last heart event before you start a relationship with her, but I'm already committed to Sebi. It's a bit too late. I must say though, my opinion of Haley has greatly improved over time and I actually like her now. She set up her camera on a tripod and asked me to help her approach the cows so she could take some photos with them. How freaking adorable. There was a really cute photo montage of us at the ranch and Haley looked really happy hanging out with the animals until she was kicked off of one of the cows. But she took it like a champ. Man, what a 360 when it comes to personalities. Haley and Shane have surprised me in this game and I can't believe how much I actually like them now. That was super adorable, and as is tradition, I walked into another heart event right after the last one, this time with Leia. She was on the phone with someone named Kel and basically told her to F off. Turns out that was her ex, and she started talking about their past history. They shared an apartment together in the city where they struggled to make a living, and she became irritated that Kel would suggest that Leia go back to school to get a better paying job and do things by the book. The typical safe and normal route. But she didn't want that for herself, so she left to pursue her dream of being an artist. Although she's still struggling with money, so not much has changed there. As for the response, I wasn't really sure what to choose, because I do think it's important to go after what you love in life and care about your dreams. But to continuously put all the responsibilities on your partner because you want your passion to be your job can be selfish to an extent. Not completely, but you know, it doesn't seem like she cared about her much anyways, given the conversation I walked in on, so maybe it was for the best. I chose the last option and it seemed like a good choice, and what do you know? She actually took my advice to save up for a computer so she can sell her art online. Way to go, Leia. That's the route you need to take, girl. After my talk with Leia, I made my way to Pierre's to give out more gifts, and while I was looking for Caroline, I noticed a door in the kitchen I've yet to go through, which triggered heart event number 3. All right, Caroline, what's going on in your world? The door led to her sunroom, which is super adorable, and she looks rather happy in this little cozy space she's built for herself. She offered me a cup of tea from a plant she's grown, and I'm starting to think that this isn't normal tea. I think she drugged me and I'm hallucinating. I mean, if I was married to Pierre, I'd probably drink the same thing. And she's given me permission to have some of her calming tea whenever I want. Thanks, Caroline. I'll try not to make it a habit. After finishing up my gift giving for the day, I stopped by the little raccoons to drop off the 5 cave carrots, leaving just the dried morel mushrooms. What the... What is that? Okay, well, I guess I'll come back later when I can see him better. Bright and early the next morning, I woke to Sam at my front door. He said that his band was playing a show tonight in Zuzu City, which means my boyfriend is playing a show tonight in Zuzu City, which means obviously I need to go and support them. So today we'll be going on a mini road trip. Haley also left me an absolutely adorable letter. She wrote me one just for fun, like Shane does occasionally. They are both cutie patooties and evolved from giant grumps to big softies. I love it. I also received a recipe from Caroline to craft a tea sapling. Super cool. I keep forgetting to harvest my tea leaves each season, so maybe I'll plant some in the greenhouse. Okay, we have a few orders of business to attend to before we head to the concert. First, my animals are pissed off and hungry because I forgot to feed them and left them outside for a few days. That's nothing new though. Also, my void egg still hasn't hatched. Is it normal for it to take this long to incubate? Did I mess it up by having the coop at full capacity? I then bought a buttload of hay from Marnie and fed my animals because they were starving to death. I felt immense guilt. And I finally had all the iridium bars needed for the boat upgrade, but considering we have a concert to attend today, and I'm sure unlocking the boat will include a bit of story cutscenes, I'm going to save that for tomorrow. So I just foraged a little bit until 4 p.m. and headed to the bus stop to go to Zuzu City. Why is my bestie up in the corner all alone? I'm sure he'd like to listen to the band play, but then again, he probably hates the city, so maybe not. Linus! Oh my god, he hid under the bus again, didn't he? What's wrong with you? Well, the stage kind of looks like it's in a trash yard behind an actual club with actual bands playing inside, but you know what? I'm here to support my boyfriend, Abigail, and Sam, who looks like he's about to faint. The cutscene was pretty cute, and I liked watching Abigail's bangs bouncing up and down. Sam seems to be getting into it as well. They got some cute compliments, and then I got some credit for the band's existence and their music choice, as I should. Once I was back on the farm, I harvested some crops and planted some wild seeds and carrots in their place. And it's almost as if the universe was listening to me, because the same day I started complaining about my void egg not hatching was the day it decided to do just that. Now then, since I take it this chicken has risen from the depths of hell, I shall name it Satan. Cute. Why is that so funny to me? Look at him with his beady red eyes. I'm sure he'll grow up to be a rambunctious little cutie. My ancient seed hasn't made much progress yet, so I'll check back on that later. And since tomorrow is Sunday, I think I'm going to purchase a few more staircases with the jade I have and give the skull caverns a try. If I fail now, I'll have plenty of time to prepare again before my 300 days are up. Basically, I'm preparing myself for failure early on so I can learn from my mistakes. I crafted a few more bombs to take with me, grabbed some food, and headed to sleep. Alright you guys, let's see how well composed I can be trying to get to floor 100 in the skull caverns. Wish me luck. And as luck would have it, the fortune teller told me I'd have a bit extra, which I'll definitely need. I traded 10 jade for 10 more staircases, so now I have a total of 30. And I think I came pretty well prepared. Maybe not enough food, but let's give it a shot. I feel like fate is on my side today. Off to a great start! Oh my god. Dude, I found a dinosaur. What do I do? Will it randomly give me a dino egg? I guess I'll come back later. Couldn't even get to him if I wanted. I swear if that was like my only chance of getting a dino egg, I'm going to lose it. I wasn't really doing all that great as I only made it to level 42 around 7 p.m. so I was kind of stressing out. But I did find another dinosaur, and while it didn't give me an egg, I got an artifact from him, so that's cool. On level 50, I found an auto grabber, which I can use for my new coop, and with about 20 minutes left to spare in the day, I finally made it to level 100. I'm just so happy I made it so I don't have to stress about doing that again. Regardless, I found the Mr. Key Fool down here with a bunch of demon snakes, and he doesn't look suspicious at all. He kind of looks like an intergalactic detective or like a predator. You know what? I don't care about honor, I care about completion goals, and whatever methods I use to achieve them is none of your concern, thank you. The nerve of this guy. He was offering me praise for my accomplishment, and then asked me to drink a suspicious-looking purple milk, which I'm assuming has been poisoned. And since I asked questions second and take action first, I just did what I was told. And it did increase my health, surprisingly. Is that seriously all I get for reaching level 100? Some snake milk? And as it was late, I barely made it home and passed out on my farm, but I made it to level 100, guys. I actually did it. If I get a request asking me to make it even further down the caverns, there's just no way. I barely accomplished this insanity. The next morning, I received a cranberry sauce recipe from Gus and a letter from my bestie where he let me know that he robbed me while also saving my life. Thanks, Linus. And after looking through my skull cavern haul, it seems I found a prismatic shard. Now, you guys left me notes about what to do if I found one of these, and I was told not to donate it to the museum first. Instead, I should bring it to the 3 pillars in the desert. So I'll do that next time I make a trip there. This is pure and utter chaos, but I can't care enough to deal with it right now. Alright, we have a few tasks to complete today. First, I want to stop by Clint's and open up all the geodes I found yesterday in the caverns, and nothing new. But I do have that dinosaur fossil to donate, so I went ahead and did that. On my way to the beach, I picked up a new request on the board because I failed to complete Pam's request. I probably need more kegs in order to complete that one on time. I accepted Robin's request, so hopefully I'll complete this one. And then finally, I made my way to the boathouse and donated the 5 iridium bars, completing all of the needed materials for the boat repair. It should be fixed up by tomorrow, which is really exciting. Can't wait to explore someplace new. On my way to go gather hardwood, I ventured near the sewer entrance to get a better look at that animal from a few days ago, and it looks like a swollen raccoon. I'm being nice by saying swollen, by the way. And he wants fish. A specific type of fish. A smallmouth bass? Alright. I guess it's also my job to feed all the stray wildlife in the valley. No way. He wants more? He wants more. Chocolate cake? This freaking raccoon. Are you kidding me? I spent all day feeding this dude and he's still not satisfied. No. The chub frenzy is happening right here, sponsored by this damn raccoon. Well, I'll come back to this dude later. I better get something good for all the trouble I'm going through for Mr. Tanuki here. It seems the boat repairs are complete, which means we now have access to whatever destination it'll take me to, which is exciting. So I'm going to quickly start up some artisan machines and make my way over to Willie's so we can check it out. I also received a void egg from Satan, so I went ahead and started to incubate that so I can have yet another adorable demon chicken on the farm. I made it to the boat around 10 a.m. and departed Stardew Valley for a new, distant island where everything is extremely skittish. But I'm intrigued. This place looks pretty cool. I found 2 giant turtles blocking a few of the paths, but I dug up 4 omni geodes near one of them, so I'll take it. And there's birds here. This place is absolutely lovely. Desolate, but lovely. I took the only path available to me, and inside this dense rainforest area, I found a golden walnut. And considering the fact that a counter appeared, I'm assuming they are important and I'll need to find more of them. I found some taro tubers and a few tent kits nearby as well, which again, I'm assuming means I'll be spending the night here quite often in the future. While collecting fiber in this same area, I came across a journal scrap page. The page is from a shipwrecked sailor who found himself stranded on the island and decided to make this place his new home out of necessity for survival. Maybe it was the guy that got spooked when we first arrived? I also came across a strange altar and found some mummified frogs. I'm finding a bunch of new things on this island so far, and it's pretty fun, I must say. Whoever lives here is blessed. I want to be friends with them. Inside this treehouse, I found the same guy from earlier and a parrot that wanted a walnut, so I gave it to him because I won't deny any birds that I want to become friends with food that they request. Once I did, I entered a cutscene with the boy and the parrot, and he was talking to the parrot in their dialect? Wait, I'm kind of jealous that he has this freaky bond with these birds and understands their language. But because I'm not a bird, he decided I'm not worth his time right now. Fair. So my mission is to befriend the parrots. This is the absolute best mission in this game, one I intend on completing as soon as possible. Oh, he's giving me clues. Okay, let's go find some walnuts. What is going on this island? Well, the top path seems to have been unlocked, but that's north. And the bird said 6 were buried to the west, but the other turtle is still blocking that path, so up is the only way to go, I guess. I continued following the sentient fireball, which led me to a cave that seemed a bit like a death sentence from the outside, and now I'm convinced. This area must be where Satan and all his void chicken brethren have spawned from. I'll have to come back later because I currently have no way to cross the lava, so back to looking for walnuts. What? What does a parrot need with that much money? A little flying thieves? The audacity of this flying chocobo. Anyways, I decided to start digging around and I found a walnut, then another, and noticed a pattern on the ground where I was finding said walnuts, so I kept looking around the area for them and ended up finding 5 of the 6 before using a tent kit to go to bed for the evening. The next morning, I spent a good chunk of the day looking for the last walnut. I couldn't for the life of me figure out where it was hiding, so I just started digging up every patch of sand I could find, but nothing. I then accidentally discovered a hidden path near the entrance to this area where I found a 6th walnut, but I'm wondering if this is actually the 6th one because the bird said buried, and this wasn't buried, but I found 6, so now I need to bring them back to the bird, and that's what I did, but then it told me to go to the top of the fire mountain. Why can't these birds just make things easy for me? I went back into the death cave and yeah, I have no idea what to do now. So back to the valley I went, and I'm thinking either I need like a special ability to cross, or it'll be something as simple as using my watering can. I feel as if I just need to bring my watering can, so next time I shall do that and give it a shot. Well, I think the island is really cool, and I'm excited to be exploring an entire new area with new mechanics and characters. I'm going to take a little break from it and focus on progressing with my Monster Slayer goals over the next few days. We're hopping back and forth between goals, people. But first, I am really curious about what that prismatic shard will do in the desert. People have left me comments saying I should take one to the 3 pillars near the skull caverns, so let's test it out. Oh. Something's happening. Whoa, I got a sword. It definitely seems stronger than the lava sword I have. Is this the strongest weapon in the game? So that's awesome. I wasn't expecting a weapon, but I love that. Can I bring other items to this triangle of golden pillars as well? But that means I'm also going to have to go back into the caverns eventually to find another prismatic shard, right? For the museum, and I think the Junimos needed one too, if I'm not mistaken. Well, at least I won't be pressured to sprint through 100 levels next time I'm there. Okay, back to the farm I go, and I decided to stop by Clint's to open up my Omni Geodes and mystery boxes, and I received one new mineral. I am wondering when I should stop opening the Omni Geodes and begin saving them to trade for items at the trader in the desert. Maybe once the museum is completed? I'm not sure if anything I'm missing is exclusively found in the Omni Geodes or not. I decided to work on Monster Slayer goals the rest of the day, focusing on slimes and nuggies in the earlier levels. Well, well, well. If it isn't my arch nemesis, the annual Egg Festival. Maybe third time's the charm, right? I have no confidence in myself at all. Don't expect much from me, alright? Once I was done setting up my artisan machines for the day and smelting more iridium ore, I made my way to the mines to once again work on completing some Monster Slayer goals. And around 9 p.m, I completed another goal for killing 30 of the Diglets, which earned me a hard hat. What a lame reward. Thanks for nothing, Gil. But one good thing came out of my mining adventure today. I found a prismatic shard. I didn't know you could find them in the caves, let alone the early levels of the caves. I must have gotten extremely lucky. I'm not complaining about it. So I'll be donating that to the museum after the Egg Festival. Okay, time for disappointment. I mean, the Egg Festival. The fun yearly event where I don't resent Abigail at all. Nope, not at all. You know, now that I think about it, I can buy blue hens from Shane, right? I mean, he does breed them. Why haven't I thought about looking into that? Because if they exist, I need them. Once the chit chat was over with, it was time to get down to business once again. And I'm nervous, you guys. Okay, I found 9. I think that's the most I've ever found. Please just let that be enough. I'm sure I need to win this thing for like an in-game achievement, and I just don't want to stress about it anymore. Oh, thank you, Jesus. 3 years! I've waited 3 years for this man to announce me as the winner of this freaking event. A straw hat? Are you kidding me? I get a hat made of rotten grass? That's my prize after all this time? What is with this town and gifting lame hats to people who accomplish amazing feats? At least give me food or bombs or something I can use. A straw hat. The next morning, I woke up to a letter letting me know that the Calico Desert Festival would be returning, and I still don't think I have enough items to trade with the vendors, but I'll still check it out. So today's plans, I have a few things I wanted to do in town. First, let's stop by Clint's to upgrade another tool, and I decided to go with the watering can because I feel as if I'll need it on the island in the lava caves. Maybe I don't, but I need to upgrade everything eventually anyways, so I'll start with that. I also had a few geodes and mystery boxes to open up, and then headed over to the museum to donate the second prismatic shard I found, leaving only a single gem left to find and donate to the museum. I decided to check up on the ancient seed I planted in my greenhouse, and it's barely grown. I take it this seed has a long growth period. From there, I made the rest of the day a gift-giving day. I have a strong feeling I won't complete the monster hunter goals because I had no idea just how many monsters from the skull caverns would be on that list, and it includes the dinos, so yeah. At least let me complete the friendship goals this time around. That would be nice. Oh, Abigail holds grudges too, huh? Well, now I for sure can't have her winning next year. The next morning, my spawn of hell hatched in the barn, and I named him Lucifer. Kind of the same thing as Satan, but you know, I'm keeping a theme here. Aw, he's a cute little demon chicken, isn't he? And I received another void egg, so we are going to start hatching the third devil bird. Today is going to be another simple day where I continue to work on my friendship goals, but it's also the desert festival, so I'll bring some flowers with me so I can double task. I picked up another cursed cactus, most likely going to sell it like the last one, gave out some flowers, and decided to look around a bit more to figure out how to earn those calico eggs. I found I could obtain some through Skull Cavern quest, and I do still need to complete some Monster Slayer goals, so I think tomorrow I may do a run to try and earn some calico eggs so that I can actually buy something from this festival this year. I accepted Willie's quest to catch 3 sandfish, and once I completed that, I earned my first set of calico eggs, which is exciting. I also caught a super freaking hard fish called a scorpion carp for the first time, so that was cool. And as it's now tradition, I have to let Emily dress me up like a fool because she loves doing it, and I like to see what she considers to be good fashion. Looks like I joined the army. I'd rank this above the Amish look though. I also forgot that I bet on the race earlier in the day, and my scorpion guy ended up winning, which awarded me 20 more calico eggs. Doing pretty good so far. I also decided to go talk to the suspicious guy hanging out in the corner. He asked me for 1 calico egg. I can spare 1, just because I'm curious about him. But after talking with him, I feel as if he's going to break the legs of one of the racers, and now I feel bad. And I feel like a bully, especially while wearing my current camo attire. I decided to choose the scorpion who won last race. Sorry, little guy. And I bet once again, but this time on the rooster. Why do I feel like a bad person? He keeps getting hurt. Oh my god. Well, I won again, but at what cost? I put a hit out on a tiny animal. I got my hands dirty for 20 calico eggs. The next morning, I said hi to all my animals, grabbed a few food dishes and the rest of my bombs, and headed back to the desert. Before venturing into the caverns, I did want to hand out a few flowers and see what bizarre outfit Emily was going to dress me in today. And it seems she's back to dressing me up as an Amish chick. Seriously, Emily, you couldn't think of a different theme? Once I changed back into my cute attire, I picked the deep dive quest for the caverns. So let's see if I can accomplish it. I also read the sign near the cavern entrance, and it let me know that there are calico eggs and statues scattered about inside, and more can appear the further down I go. Good to know, although knowing my skills, I doubt I'll make it that deep into the caves. I found a statue on the first level, and it granted me 1 egg and no status effects, and I found a few random eggs in the early levels as well. I'm a bit confused about the egg count near the day and night cycle. I'm not sure how that works. I thought it would go up depending on what floor I'm on, but I guess not. And I kind of just kept flowing through the levels, not really rushing as much as I guess I should. I was also focused on destroying as many monsters as possible for Monster Slayer goals. I was multitasking, okay? On level 27, I found another one of those calico statues, and it granted me more monsters. Yay? I guess I kinda want that. Once I made it to level 33, I decided to leave for the evening since I reached my goal, and you know, I didn't want to get too greedy. I also earned 25 eggs from Gil, so hey, I'm at least earning some of these darn eggs this year. Around 12:30, I made my way back to the valley, and we'll trade our eggs for some prizes tomorrow on the last day of the festival. At the end of the night, I leveled up my combat to level 10 and decided to go with the brute profession. Wonder what that means. I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually. I decided to go to Marnie's before hopping on the bus so I could buy some hay. I have a bunch of grass I could cut, but I was feeling lazy this particular morning, and on my way there, I ran into a heart event with Penny. She had a cute little picnic set up by the lake with the 2 kids and asked me to talk about my life in the country. I think she basically wanted me to talk about my experience with farming. And of course I said yes. There isn't a bone in my body that can allow me to be mean to Penny, this sweet, poor, adorable human being. And she was asking the kids questions about the outdoors, and I started talking about my job, and then Vincent was being all cute and got Penny flustered when he mentioned that Sam lifted Penny into a tree the previous night. Then she asked me if I ever wanted kids, and because of course I want kids in this game, simply because that option exists, and achievements, obviously, I said sure, why not? And it kinda ended there. A cute and sweet little heart event. I then made my way to the ranch to purchase some hay and headed back to the desert. Willie had another fishing quest for 30 calico eggs, and I was able to complete it with my first catch of the day. Easy peasy. I then headed to Emily's booth for the final fashion show of the year, and I better not step out of the booth wearing a yellow coat like last time. Well, at least it's not the yellow raincoat. First impressions, I look like I'm trying to sell you a car. Or I work a simple desk job and have a very monotonous married life. I hate it. One of these days, Emily, you'll give me an outfit I like. I can feel it, girl. Keep trying. I also earned a few eggs from the scholar guy in the corner. I tried his quiz over the past few days and got a few answers wrong, so I knew what the correct answers were this time around. Now I have 237 eggs, so let's see what I can buy. And honestly, there wasn't much I was interested in purchasing, but I went ahead and bought the dark velvet bow, the woodcutter's weekly book, and 4 mystery boxes, leaving me with 2 eggs. I'm glad I was actually able to participate in purchasing a few things this year, although I was kind of hoping there would be unique furniture items for trade. Back on the farm, I crafted 3 more oil makers since I've been receiving a ton of truffles from my piggies, and I'd like to double my output so I can earn more money each day. To start today off, I made my way to the carpenter's to purchase another expansion for my home, the expanded corner room, leaving just the dining room. I'm excited to complete the home upgrades so I can start decorating. I also decided to upgrade my coop since more eggs equals more money, and I have a lot of stuff to buy, so I need to make more money on the daily. I also checked my mail and got a fish stew recipe from Willie. Thanks, Willie. And the rest of the day was pretty relaxing. I organized some of my chest, and I've just been tossing things haphazardly everywhere on my farm, did a bit of cleanup, and gathered a few more materials. The next morning, I was planning on picking up my upgraded watering can from Clint and opening up a few of the Omni Geodes I had on me, but the fool wasn't there. I wanted to test out the watering can back on Ginger Island, but I guess I'll do that tomorrow. So instead, I hopped back into the mines and worked on completing a few more Monster Slayer goals. I focused on the silver ore levels, going after slimes and dust sprites. First stop of the day is the blacksmith's to pick up my iridium watering can, and while I was there, I opened up my Omni Geodes, finding nothing new unfortunately. Now we're going to head back to Ginger Island to find more of those dang walnuts so I can become best friends with the local wildlife. On my way to the boat, I ran into a cutscene with Willie, and he said he needed help with something, but was acting really weird about it. I still believe he's hiding bodies somewhere in his shack. That's why I want to stay on his good side. And yeah, looks like Willie's got crabs. His name being Willie is just the cherry on top of this obvious joke of a cutscene. But still, I wish he'd stop being weird about it. If he keeps this up, I'm not going to talk to him anymore. He's creeping me out. Gus came in, and after some back and forth banter, he decided to purchase them all. Okay. Well, back to the boat where hopefully there aren't any hidden bodies or crabs procreating at alarming rates. I made my way to the lava caves and tested out my watering can, and what do you know? It worked! I found a few new monsters, some little flame dudes, and what looked like fire toads shooting fireballs at me, which was extremely rude. At the end of the cave, I came across a doorway, which led me to a new set of caves, or mines. I see the one at the top of the screen, so I'm sure this cavern has a buttload of levels too. I found a new resource right away, a cinder shard, and I think maybe this is the last gemstone I'm missing. If so, that would be awesome. I'm not exactly well prepared in terms of food, so I don't think I'll be exploring too much of these caves today, but I do want to explore a little bit in hopes that I'll find more new materials. I found a new mushroom called a magma cap, and after fighting an actual flame monster, I think the little guys are magma slimes instead of fire monsters like I initially thought. I also came across Ginger for the first time, I think. I also found 2 new enemies, one which was a robot maybe, and after defeating him, I earned a golden walnut. I found another golden walnut on level 4 in a rock, and on level 5, I found a dwarf who wouldn't speak to me, and another golden walnut right next to him. And considering it's almost midnight, and I have no idea how to get out of these caves as I see no ladder or fast exit, and I have no tent kits with me, I feel as if I'm in trouble. So I shall accept my grim fate and carry onwards. And I think it was worth it because I did find another prismatic shard on level 7 before passing out. But now I know that I can find walnuts inside the volcano. I wonder how far down it goes, and I need to figure out how to properly exit the caves. The next morning I found out that it was Willie who was my savior, and he blamed the birds for robbing me. I know those sweet parrots wouldn't rob me, Willie. You and Linus need to get better at lying. While checking up on my chickens, my third spawn of hell hatched, and I named him Beelzebub. The gang's all here, and I think I'm going to take a break from hatching demon chickens for a while. 3 devils is plenty. After doing some farm chores, I ventured outside of my farm to once again hand out flowers to the town. I know it's slower than giving them beloved items, okay? Don't judge me. Then I ran into Abigail and she asked me what happens to us when we die. Geez, that's a heavy question. Given how I know what Abigail likes and the fact that I grew up in an extremely haunted house when I was a kid and it traumatized me even to this day, I said we come back as spooky ghosts. She seemed to like that answer. Upon entering Penny and Pam's trailer, I ran into another one of Penny's heart events. She seemed really sad that their home was dirty, thanks to her mom, I'm assuming. I decided to help her out because I feel bad for this sweet, adorable bundle of joy. And while in the process, Pam came home and got upset that we were cleaning up her filth. Wow, talk about bad parenting, my god. Penny confronted her mom about being drunk, again, and she got mad that she doesn't seem to care that she's harming herself and Penny. And yeah, it was pretty sad to watch. I left because awkward, you know. Pam told Penny that it's embarrassing to have others clean up after her, and I just want to give Penny a home. And I swear if I don't accomplish my goal of building this woman a home during this playthrough, I'll feel like an awful human being. She deserves it. And I don't know what prompted me to go back inside of the trailer, but I was met with heart scene number 2. Because of course, right? Penny was cooking a new recipe and wanted me to taste test it, but I don't think it agreed with me. And I just don't want to hurt this girl's feelings anymore, so I lied. I know it's wrong, okay? But I just couldn't stand to see her sad avatar anymore. The smile was worth the indigestion and heartburn. And she named it after me. Now my name is attached to her abomination. Wonderful. Okay, now finally I can give her the dang flower. For the rest of the evening, I just handed out gifts, and I even earned an achievement after giving Mayor Lewis a flower, bringing him to 10 hearts as well. So I'm getting closer each day to my ultimate friendship goal. The next morning, I received the most heartbreaking letter from Penny asking me to forget about her mom's outbursts. It breaks my heart. Don't worry, Penny. I'll take care of you. I also received a letter from Abby that sounded a bit, yeah. I'm sure it's video game related or something of that sort, but maybe don't word it like that. Does Sebastian know you're writing his girlfriend letters asking her to come visit you after dark, making them sound all cryptic? I don't think he would like that. Alright, anyways, today is going to be another gift giving day. I want to make sure I hand out my gifts for the week. But before I could be my cute little self and hand out flowers to the town, I had to witness some more heart events. At this point, it's just routine. I have to be getting towards the end of the heart events, right? Or maybe I feel that way simply because I see so many back to back. The first cutscene was with Harvey. I met him at the clinic and he told me that I needed an annual checkup. I didn't seem too excited about that. And as with most annual checkups, he did a whole lot of nothing. At least it was quick. On to heart event number 2, I followed Alex in his house and was met with sad music and sad emotions. Alright Alex, my shoulder is here to comfort you. Let it all out, buddy. He told me that he was nervous to read the books in his room because he felt like he's not smart enough to understand them, and it scares him. I told him we all have different strengths, which encouraged him to try and read anyways. Look at that determined expression. Although I still think he should stick to sports. Oh my god, back-to-back heart events. Let's go. And sure, let's walk into his room while he's shirtless and working out. That's not intrusive at all. Alex was lifting weights in his room and kinda apologized for being a bit rude to me when I first came to the valley, which was very mature of him. And that was that. Alright, can we witness 4 heart events today? Anyone? Okay, it looks like Elliot answered my freaking call. Alright, artsy boy, what poetry are you going to spew my way? He told me for that as long as he could remember, he wanted to be a writer. Well, a tortured writer because he chose to live in solitude as he figured it would help his writing. And he told me his friends and family didn't have much faith in him, but it's okay because I believe in him. Sure, Elliot. I barely know you, but you can do it, friend. Then he asked me what kind of books I was into, and honestly, I love all types. Sci-fi being my least favorite, romance being my top choice on the list, so I chose romance. Seems like something Romeo over here would appreciate. He then asked me to check up on his rose, as it wasn't doing so well, and then the screen went black, and I was back at his door, and he was playing the piano, so heart event number 5? My god, it never ends. I like them, don't get me wrong, but in small doses, you know. His song was quite pretty though. I enjoyed listening to it. Everyone in this valley is poor. It's almost like it's a desolate place with no work, no tourism, and no opportunities. Unless you're me, of course. He then kind of insulted my profession, saying it was easy, but what he meant to say was that he wanted to escape his little rabbit hole of a shack and get outside. I can understand that. All right, take your flower. No more heart events, please. And thankfully, that was the end of the heart event marathon. I thankfully gave out all the rest of my flowers in peace. What is Elphaba doing to my rabbits? I knew it. She's coming after me, exacting revenge because of that stupid cheating wizard. Well, I'm having a panic attack over my rabbits, and before I'm even able to check up on them for peace of mind, Leia appeared at my front door. Kind of bad timing there, girl. She brought me a sculpture she's been working on as a gift, which is seriously sweet. It's interesting. Still a nice gesture. Oh, that's it? She just dropped off a void egg? That's kind of nice. I mean, it is a spawn of hell, but still, these eggs are valuable. Tomorrow is also the Flower Festival, and while there isn't much for me to do at these festivals anymore, they are still cute to attend. Plus, I want to see if there is any new dialogue with Sebastian now that we're dating in the game. I'll take whatever I can get, okay? Next, I want to see if I'm able to purchase a blue chicken, and while I didn't specifically see the option for the little guy, I noticed the second time I chose the chicken from the menu, the color of the chicken at the top was different. So, I tried a few times and got a blue chicken. I'm sorry, I need the blue chickens, okay? They may not produce goods that sell as high as the other animals, but my farm will not be complete without them. Her name will be Stitch. It can be a girl's name. And while I was at it, I purchased 2 more because yes, I need them. I named the next one Smurfette, and the third one I named Mercury after Sailor Mercury because I gotta throw a little bit of anime in there, you know? I was thinking maybe Juvia or Lovey from Fairy Tail, but Sailor Mercury was my favorite of the bunch growing up. I'm sticking with the blue theme. Very original, I know. Oh, they're so cute! Oh, a second one popped out. Okay, where's the third? Is he already out? Oh, no, there he is. Okay, so I have all the chickens now, right? Which means my life is complete now, right? So today has been a good day, wouldn't you say? Thanks, Shane, for breeding these adorable blue fluff balls. I crafted 3 more Mayo machines to place inside the second coop and decided to work on some more Monster Slayer goals for the remainder of the day. I'm getting pretty close to completing the slime, rock crab, and dust sprite goals, so I stuck to the silver ore floors to try and inch closer to completing these 3 tasks. I left the mines closer to midnight to check up on my progress, and of course I couldn't have 1 day off from heart events because I entered one for Maru. She was outside with her telescope looking at the night sky, and it was quite pretty. She let me look in the telescope, and I said I saw a beautiful planet because, sure, that sounds pretty. I actually like astrology a lot, so I'm really digging this cutscene, not gonna lie. We were talking about the night sky a bit, and she was gonna tell me something, then decided against it. I mean, we're going to be sister-in-laws soon, so no need to be shy, girl. Oh god, that means Demetrius will be my father-in-law. That may be a deal breaker. Sebastian, you better be worth it. Once I was done saying hi to my adorable animals, I made my way to the annual flower festival once again. There was nothing new available in the shop, but that's fine, because my real reason for coming to this festival isn't to buy furniture. It isn't to cringe at my awful dancing skills. No, it's to see if romance truly exists in my life. Will my boyfriend, who I hardly pay attention to, have anything sweet or cute to say when I ask him to dance with me? The answer in my eyes is he better. What do you mean? Oh yeah. We're dating, fool! What? It's the same dialogue from before we were dating? What's wrong with you, Sebastian? You're lucky I enjoy being around you, otherwise this would be grounds for relationship termination. Boys, am I right, ladies? Well, I was definitely expecting way too much. Should have kept my expectations low. That way I wouldn't be disappointed. And my dancing skills didn't improve at all. Okay, that was a waste of a day. Thanks for nothing, Sebby. I decided to have another relaxing day and work on Monster Slayer goals. I know I'll need to make my way back to the Skull Caverns for a few of them, as well as the volcano, but I just want to focus on the local caves today. I don't have faith that I'll be able to complete these goals this time around, because the dinosaurs I've spotted once. They're a monster goal as well, so I don't know. But I'll give it a shot. I'm sure there are more efficient ways to do this, but sometimes I like to just turn my mind off and enjoy going through the levels. I'm not stressing too much about it, just having fun along the way. Day 50 was spent doing the exact same thing as yesterday. I really liked the progress I was making, and I felt I could at least knock out the Dust Sprite goals. And I was actually able to complete that goal just before the day ended, around 9:30 p.m. I checked in at the guild to receive my award, which was a burglar's ring, increasing the chance of monsters dropping loot. Do I already have this? If not, it seems as if it can be useful. Can you guess what I did again today? Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, I'm in the mood to slay monsters that I know won't kill me in one swipe, okay? Although I did decide to focus on different levels today. I made my way to level 80 and started from there, as I wanted to see how many void sprites I could defeat. I'm assuming those are like the little Krobus guys, right? I feel so bad for taking them out now. If only we could talk to one another and come to an understanding, you know? I also found a decent amount of slimes down in these levels, and even a few crab monsters, so I'm pretty happy with the last 3 days of mining. And I keep forgetting to check the quest board to see if there are any monster quests. It would probably be beneficial to do so. I've been so bad at completing board requests this time around. I honestly just keep forgetting they exist because I'm focused on so many other things. I'll get to them soon enough. Around noon, I made my way to Clint's to open up mystery boxes and frozen geodes, and for the first time ever, I was opening mystery boxes and finding even more mystery boxes. Well, okay, that's not a bad find, I suppose. And I actually found some bombs inside those mystery boxes, so I'm not mad. And as it was the start of a new week, I went around handing out gifts because friendship goals, you know? And just like clockwork, I ran into a heart event while roaming around the town. That means I'm making progress with my friendship goals though. We got another heart event from Miss Leia, and we found her trying to reach for a fruit high up in a tree. And so I decided to awkwardly pick Leia up and hold her above my head so she can grab the peach, I think? Or I guess an apple. And then she said some cheesy line about me being her friend, which was adorable. I also decided to check in with the traveling merchant while in the area, and I need this? Like, seriously, I need this. But it's 70,000 gold, and I'm trying to complete other goals first, so sadly I'm going to have to wait, which infuriates me. Don't let me forget this Junimo catalog exists. And we stumbled into heart event number 2. Always in pairs, I swear. All right, Abigail, what are you up to? Maybe this was what she meant in her letter to meet me at 8? I thought I was supposed to meet her at her house, but maybe I misread the note. Anyways, she was sitting by a grave with a sword and a lantern nearby and said she was hanging out because the area is private. And she said she was practicing her sword skills, but girl, you're blushing. I see through you, Abby. Everyone is trying to steal me from Sebi. I don't mind the attention though. She then got defensive for no apparent reason at all. Come to find, it's because she wants to be seen as someone who is strong enough to explore the mountain caves. She then asked me if I've used a sword. More times than I'd like to admit, girl. I'm supposed to be a farmer, and yet I've become a monster slayer against my own will. I told her I've used one, but only in self-defense, which is mainly true. And she said she basically would do the same. I think she's just bored and wants to find something fun and exciting to do. And then Pierre came by, looking all angry and stupid, asking her to come home and help with dinner. His face, what he says, everything about this man just irks me like no other. Abby snapped back, saying that he believes she should be in the kitchen because she's a woman. Slay. I like your attitude, girl. Should I be best friends with Abigail? I mean, I'm besties with Linus, and Emily is also my bestie, but I can fit in a third. We moved to a different location to continue our convo, where she let out a bit more steam, and you know, I agree with her perspective, so I don't blame her for how she feels at all. The next morning, I received a super meal recipe in the mail from Kent. I wonder how many more recipes I have left to find, but I think I'm getting close to obtaining them all. As it's the first day of summer, I do want to buy a few seeds, but first I am going over to Robin's to purchase the final house upgrade. And there goes all my money. But I did it! Now I just need to decorate it all cute, which may require me to buy some of those catalogs. I also need to build Penny a home, and that's expensive. Ugh, I just have a lot of money I need to make. Well, I changed my mind. I'll buy seeds tomorrow. Today, I'm going to continue working on another goal. That's right, monster slaying. Back to level 80 and beyond to tackle the slimes, void spirits, and rock crabs. While in the mines, I had a pop-up that said I reached a new level of understanding, and that confused me, so I went to my skills section to see if maybe something upgraded, and I noticed this master area at the bottom, and it had a 1 next to it. What does that mean? Is it just mastery in all my skills overall, or something else? Okay. Today, I'm going to buy a few seeds so we can have some stuff growing on the farm. Again, it's not my focus this time around, but I would still like to grow crops each season. I grabbed a few and headed to the town requests board because I keep forgetting this exists. I went with Emily's crystal quest, so let's see if I manage to complete it and not get sidetracked to the point where I completely forget about it. But looking at the quest, it seems easy enough, and I'm pretty sure I have a bunch of these stones on my farm, so you know what? Let's complete that right now. I went to the farm and gathered the crystals, found Miss Emily and Pierre's shop, and just like that, earned 1,000 gold. All right, time to plant my seeds, and I have some summer seeds plus a bunch of fertilizer and storage I'm planning on utilizing as well. And like always, it took me all day to plant and water them, but I am glad to have some crops growing for the season. The next morning, I received a letter from Emily thanking me for the gemstones, and she gifted me a sewing machine. You mean I can make outfits from the comfort of my own home now? You're the goat, Emily. I headed on into my greenhouse to check on my ancient seed that I planted forever ago, and it was finally ready to harvest. That took forever. I know I need some for the Joja Mart donations, and I'm glad to see that I can continue to harvest this plant and it's not a one-time deal, so I'll be saving this little guy in a chest for the time being. The rest of the day, I spent foraging in the forest. I haven't done that in a while, and I felt the need to deforest the valley again. I got a letter from Pam the next morning, and she sent me an energy tonic. Never seen that item before, so like a 5-hour energy drink? I haven't foraged much lately, so that's the plan for today. It's nice to just roam around and do just that. Also, I totally forgot about our little chubby Tanuki friend. I still need to feed him. Although what he's asking for is a dish I don't think I know how to make just yet. So you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, buddy. While chopping down trees in the area, I rediscovered this door that I kind of forgot existed, and it looks like I'm finally able to go through it. I'm not sure what set of circumstances allowed that to happen, but that's cool. I found a note on the floor from my grandpa. He really just left puzzles and notes in his spirit all over this freaking valley, didn't he? He said that there are tips, recipes, and tools inside this room. And looking at the stone in the center, I think I'm starting to understand what that new green mastery star was on the menu. I need to rank it up 5 times in order to claim each of the tool perks and claim mastery over them. Interesting. I went around reading each perk, and it's hard to choose because they all offer a bunch of cool and unique things. But I decided to go with the Farming Mastery perk first, as it allows me to find golden animal crackers, whatever that is. But when given to an animal, it doubles their produce each day. And I'm trying to make more money from the farm, so that sounds delightful. I also get another statue called the Statue of Blessings, which will award me a unique blessing each day and an iridium scythe. Very cool. I knew foraging today was a good idea. Alright everyone, settle in for another day of hunting monsters. Yay! Seriously though, I want to knock out the goals in the mines ASAP so I can work on defeating monsters in the volcano and skull caverns. There are a bunch of specific dudes in each of those sections that I need to focus on. But I like the mines, okay? They don't stress me out like the other two locations. Around midnight, I completed the Monster Slayer goal for killing 60 rock crabs, and I received a crab shell ring as a reward, which boosts my defense by 5. I am also super close to finishing off the slime goal, and I've made really good progress with the Void Spirit goal as well, so I'm pretty happy with my progress today. It looks like today I have been blessed by the green rain, which means today will also be a resource and fiber gathering day. And maybe it's just me, but it seems like there are way more plants and moss on my farm this year than the last. Basically, every inch of my farm was covered in plants. I'm not complaining though, as I took home a gigantic amount of fiber today. Today I have a few things to do in town, and of course, since it's Sunday, I want to hand out some gifts. I'm going to try and hand out gifts that people actually like this time around to hopefully speed up this process. Basically, I'm trying to tone down my laziness today, and I'm starting to get sick of handing out gifts. Some people are still getting flowers though, like Clint. What does Clint like? I don't know. Oh wait, he hates flowers. It depresses him. I'll give him coffee or food, I guess. While handing out gifts, I stopped by the museum to donate another scroll I found in the mines the other day, a yellow one this time around, and I earned a dwarfish translation guide. Oh, that's right! There's that dwarf on the right-hand side of the caves that I completely forgot about. I can talk to him now then? I'll have to check that out later. Man, I've been finding so many new things in the game lately by just smacking rocks and trees. It makes me feel a little less guilty about my slow nature when it comes to playing the game. I then stopped by Clint's to force him to open up my fire geodes, and I think I finally found the last mineral I was looking for, a star shard. How exciting! So back to Gunther we go, and look at that. I have successfully found every mineral in the game. I love when things are beautifully complete. I still have quite a bit of fish left to catch. Haven't done much fishing at all this time around, but again, my brain can only focus on so many things at a time. I'll fish again soon. After I was done handing out gifts for the day, I spent my prize ticket at the mayor's house and earned 4 mystery boxes. And from there, I visited the abandoned Joja Mart, where my precious little Junimo friends reside, and donated my 3rd prismatic shard to these cuties. Do with it what you will and become my friend again. Please. While in the area, I decided to go visit the dwarf since I can talk to him now. And the first thing he says to me is to explain to him what milk is. How about I don't? And just like Krobus, he has his own little shop. Ooh, let's see. There's a book that deals less bomb damage to myself. Knowing me, that sounds rather useful. Also, he sells a rare crow. Yes, I need it and I'm purchasing it right now. Thank you. That leaves 1 left to find, I think. The next morning, I harvested my radishes and placed some mixed flower seeds in their place, and decided to craft the Statue of Blessings I unlocked a few days ago. It called for a lot of resources, but luckily I'm a hoarder and I had everything I needed. I placed it down next to my other statue, the Statue of Perfection, if I remember correctly, and I tested it out. It made a cute noise and covered itself in fruit and plants. I don't know what it did. Maybe my foraging drops will be lucky today? I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually. Maybe. Well, I'm going to continue handing out gifts today so I can be done for the week before I forget to do it. Look at how close I am, you guys. Even though I kind of forgot about Sandy, Krobus, and the dwarf, I'll need to remember to give them gifts each week as well. Also, if I'm using my context clues correctly, the dwarf likes milk, yeah? I'll use that info to my advantage. But today, everyone's getting flowers. I'm not cooking 2 days in a row. And towards the end of my gift-giving extravaganza, I got lucky with it being Gus's birthday. I suck at checking the wall calendar that I specifically placed right by my bed so I can check it each morning even though I don't. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, okay? That forgetfulness did get me to 10 hearts with him though, and I didn't forget to give Krobus a gift at the end of the night either. Look at him, isn't he just the most adorable little blob you've ever seen? I want to hug him and tell him I'm sorry for continuously offing his friends in the cave. I need to. For Monster Slayer goals, Krobus. You wouldn't understand. Even though I keep slaying his friends, Krobus has a heart of gold. He's such a cutie patootie. Oh my god. I need to hurry up and complete that Monster Slayer goal so I'll never have to hurt another one of his friends ever again. If I only destroy a certain amount, it's acceptable and moral, for self-defense and achievement reasons, right? And so I decided to do just that. Go back to the mines and pretend I'm not hurting these cute little guys while working towards slaying 150 of them. My god, I feel like a monster. But I'm almost there. I have 4 more slimes and 10 more Krobuses left until I reach their respective goals. And then I can move on to the volcano and skull cavern monsters, where I'm sure I won't struggle to stay alive at all. The next morning, I received a rainbow shell from Demetrius. And may I say, you gave me exactly what I needed, you intimidating soul you. Because I sold my last rainbow shell before knowing I needed one for the train station quest, and I've yet to find another one, so I'll give you kudos this time, but also I'm gonna continue keeping my distance. Also, tomorrow seems to be the annual luau, but I think I'm gonna be a bad member of the community and skip out on it this year. I have a bunch of other stuff I need to do. Alright, this should be the last trip I'll need to make into these mines for a while, so let's get these goals completed as fast as possible. Right away, I was able to knock out the slime goal, and a few short hours later, I slayed the last void spirit. The carnage is finally over. You can rest in peace, little Krobuses. For my rewards, I received a slime charmer ring, which prevents damage from slimes, and a savage ring, where I gain a short speed boost after slaying a monster. I'm digging the unique ring rewards, although I don't really see myself using them, but they may come in handy. So we have 4 Monster Slayer goals left to accomplish, and the one I'm the most nervous about completing is the dinosaurs because I've rarely come across them. Hopefully I'll have more luck the next time I pop into the caverns. I also need to make a bunch of bombs. Like, a bunch. The next morning, I decided to grab some food I have previously cooked and all the bombs I had in my chest and headed to the skull caverns. I don't need to worry about reaching a certain floor this time around, so I don't need to rush, which is a good thing since I won't be panicking as much. I also stopped by to give Sandy a flower and then headed back into the cursed caverns. And my god, I guess if I just think about what I want, the game will deliver. On floor 10, I came across a dinosaur prehistoric level. Maybe it's randomly generated, but I found a dinosaur. And as I kept exploring, I found even more dinosaurs. They really pack on the damage, but it's a beautiful sight to see. Oh my god. Ooh, I got 2, which means I can donate 1 and incubate the other, and I can have a freaking dinosaur on my farm. And I think I defeated like 6 or 7 dinosaurs, and I found 2 more eggs. Oh my god, this is awesome. I'm having a wonderful time down here, and it's only 3 p.m. I defeated a few more mummies and found more serpents and stumbled upon another prehistoric level 4 floors down. The Stardew gods are looking out for me. I defeated 4 more dinos on this level, another one on level 18, and then left the caverns on level 20 around 11 p.m. Today was a very good run, in my eyes at least, because I slayed a good amount of dinos and got dino eggs. Oh my god, I'm a freaking moron! What the hell did I mean, something had to have gone wrong today, right? I just had to accidentally set off a bomb in my coop. At least it didn't kill my animals. I think I'd lose it. So today I gained some future dinosaurs on my farm, yet lost all of my equipment. Very typical of me. The next morning, I was still quite angry at myself for blowing up my equipment. Such a noob move. But we continue onwards. I have a few things in town I'd like to do today, including a few quests I've been holding onto for quite some time that I need to complete. And I think to start the day, I'm going to upgrade my new coop a third time to hold more animals and upgrade the feeder to an auto feeder. It's 20,000 coins, but I like more dinos, and I think it'll be worth it in the end. Next, I was going to visit Clint to have him open up some stuff for me, but it looks like the town's most depressed man decided to leave his shop today. Thanks for nothing, Clint. That's alright. We'll visit the museum instead. I donated 1 dino egg and 2 different dino bones to the museum, which earned me a part of a sloth skeleton display and 5 warp totems. I accepted a quest on the board from Robin to gather 80 pieces of hardwood, and finally gave Gus the coconut he's asked for ages ago. Next task was to place the rainbow shell in the box at the train station, and after doing so, I received another cryptic note from Mr. Key to place 10 beets inside of the mayor's fridge. Am I playing a prank on the mayor now? Because I can get behind that. So I went back home, found out I don't have any beets, and I know Pierre doesn't sell them, so maybe at the Oasis. I'm going there tomorrow to mine again, so I'll check Sandy's shop first. And for the rest of the evening, I worked on collecting hardwood to fulfill Robin's project request. The next morning, I gathered some hardwood from the secret forest before taking the bus to the Calico Desert, and my first stop was the Oasis to give Sandy a gift and to purchase some beet seeds. I then made my way back to the caverns, and fingers crossed that I come across more dinosaurs, you guys. And so far, no dinos, but I found something equally wonderful. A golden animal cracker. This will double an animal's daily output, so I need to think wisely on who to use it on. While I didn't come across any dino floors, I did run into 2 stray dinos on a few floors, so you know what? I'll take it. I left around 11 p.m., gathered up my artisan goods to sell, planted some beet seeds in my greenhouse, and ended the day. The next morning, I awoke to a completely upgraded coop, and I crafted 10 mayo machines to put inside. The more machines, the better. From there, I decided to go and gather more hardwood for Robin's request, as it's due today. And after gathering the easy hardwood in the secret forest, I only needed 10 more pieces, so I started chopping down every tree I came across, and eventually I got what I needed. I went ahead and dropped off the 80 pieces of hardwood to Robin. What a waste, but hopefully I'll be rewarded with something valuable in return. While in the area, I gave the dwarf a gift and checked in at the guild to see my updated Monster Slayer stats. With the last 2 trips I took to the caverns, I managed to slay 16 dinosaurs, 30 serpents, and 11 mummies. Not too bad. We'll be going to the caverns quite a bit the next 34 days. But first, we need to hand out gifts, of course. And when I say gifts, I mean flowers, because laziness, you know? I didn't manage to get to everyone today because it was late, but when I went to the sewers to give cute little Krobus a gift, I stumbled upon a turf war. The dwarf was angry because Krobus, a shadow person, was above ground. Apparently there is bad blood between the dwarfs and the shadow people, like a long history of war and fighting between the two. They started fighting, and it was pretty silly and cute looking, even if they were trying to rip each other's throats out. I came to save the day until the wizard swooped in like a boss and used his magic on them and told them to zip it. That was pretty awesome. He told them that the elemental wars are no longer, and so they need to basically shut up and learn to live with one another. And so they kind of made up. Krobus was the bigger person though. He's kind of a sweetheart. But Mr. Wizard was taking no chances and decided to cast a promise spell on them to mark their peace treaty, in a sense. Interesting. We have a bit of lore with the dwarfs and the shadow people, and little Krobus made it out alive. That's all that matters to me. Early next morning, I gave the dwarf a flower and then made my way to the desert for some more mining. On level 14, I found an auto grabber in a chest. That'll be useful when I end up building barn number 2. And it was kind of an uneventful day where I mainly fought a bunch of serpents and just a handful of mummies. No dinos. This morning, the Statue of Blessings awarded me a symbol with a sword, so some boosts related to combat? I wasn't planning on going back to the Skull Caverns today, but maybe I should. Well, for now, I'm going to do my ritual, hand out flowers to the community, except for George and Clint, and when I entered George's house, I entered a cutscene. George was frustrated that he wasn't able to reach a book on the bookshelf and seemed depressed that he was confined to his wheelchair. I can only imagine how frustrating that would be. I decided to help him out, and he told me how he ended up in his wheelchair. He was injured while working in the coal mines from dynamite. Wow, I'm surprised he survived, honestly. He thanked me for my kindness, and you know, I really like this cutscene with George. I'm starting to warm up to the old guy. On the beach, I found another golden animal cracker. I still need to feed them to my animals. I'm deciding on whether or not to give them to the dinos when they hatch, and I kind of felt like crafting something new today. So I crafted the iridium band, which seems really useful. It emits light, attracts items, and increases damage by 10%. Basically, it replaces the 2 rings I'm currently wearing. I also decided to equip the crab shell ring. I could definitely use more defense boosts. And I changed my outfit a bit. I do want to try and sew a few more new pieces this time around. At the very beginning of the day, with the first swipes of my scythe, I leveled up my mastery to level 2, meaning I can pick another skill to master. So we'll go do that in a bit. Also, I caved and decided to feed one of my golden animal crackers to one of my goats. I figured that's why, since I get both milk and wool from them, I'm saving the other one for the time being. I made my way into town and used my prize ticket at the mayor's house, and I got a houseplant. It's not super exciting, but I'll take it. And while I was going around handing out flowers, I walked into Pierre's store and heart event. Caroline was hosting an aerobics class, I guess. I like that Harvey was participating. And I guess this was one of Harvey's heart events, which makes this even funnier, as he seemed a bit flustered that I caught him exercising. You're a doctor. That's not out of the ordinary for you, right? The more I talk to Harvey, the more I find that he's actually pretty chill, and I promised to keep his secret, although half the town is in this room already, so he probably just doesn't want all the dudes heckling him for it. I get it. I handed out a few more gifts for the week and then purchased some hay from Marnie because I'm out again. And then I went back to the door in the forest to pick my next upgrade. I was deciding between foraging and combat mastery, but decided to go with the foraging mastery as I was intrigued by all 3 of the perks. I also harvested another ancient fruit from my greenhouse, so I now have 3, and I believe I need 5 for the Joja Mart donations. And before ending the evening, I crafted a ton of bombs because I am indeed going back to the Skull Caverns tomorrow. The next morning, I received a recipe in the mail from Clint for bean hot pot. Finally, another recipe. I'm missing 8 more recipes, including the one I need to cook for that chubby tanuki in the forest. Once it reached 10 a.m., I took the bus to the desert, gave Sandy a flower, and headed into the mines, hoping to stumble upon more dinosaurs. On level 61, I received my first golden mystery box from a serpent. Ooh, exciting. I received another one right after defeating a big purple slime, and a third one from a random dinosaur I came across, which made me happy. The dinosaur and the golden mystery box, both at the same time, you know. I decided to check the fortune teller today, and it's looking pretty grim, so I think I'll hold off on another run in the Skull Caverns. The beets I planted in the greenhouse finished growing, so I can go ahead and shove a few in the mayor's fridge like that weirdo Mr. Key asked me to do. So I did that, and inside the fridge was a note addressed to me. The mayor must have bad eyesight. I had one final task to complete from Mr. Key, to give the sand dragon his last meal? What exactly does that mean? Why does this have to be a cryptic, confusing clue? Maybe I just need to explore the desert a bit. There must be something there in plain sight that I'm missing. I also took a moment to go and say hi to my bestie, Linus, because I haven't said hi to him in a while and it's an absolute crime. But I'm elated to say that he seems to be doing well. And for the rest of the evening, I decided to mine and chop down everything at the quarry because I haven't been there in quite some time and I felt like doing something a bit different. Resource gathering is always smart. There's never a wrong time to do it. My luck seems pretty bad today as well, so we'll do something else in the meantime. I checked the cellar of my home and found all of my items I placed in the barrels seem to have finished, and they are all iridium quality. Also, I feel as if one of these are needed for the Joja Mart donation. I'm going to double check before I sell them. And it just says wine, and it's not specific, and it's only silver star quality, so I'll come back with another bottle later on. I don't want to waste my iridium quality wine on this bundle. So I went back home to sell them and grab my mystery boxes, including my new golden mystery boxes, so that Clint can open them up for me. I received a golden pumpkin, 4 mystery boxes, some espresso, radish seeds, and a treasure chest. Not too shabby. From there, I kind of just roamed around the rest of the day, foraged on the beach, went to the bathhouse to relax, explored a bit. It was kind of nice visiting places I haven't really been to in a while. The spirits seem neutral today, which is good enough for me, so we are going back to the Skull Caverns. I know I've been going back and forth between slaying monsters and building up my friendships, but I set some goals for myself this playthrough and I plan to see them through. I'm also 200,000 gold away from building Penny a home. I think I can earn that much in 27 days. Maybe. I ran into a bunch of mummies and of course serpents, but I'm happy I found a bunch of floors with the mummies, and the last floor on the right had like 10, which caused me to not leave the mines until 1:40 a.m., so yeah, I'm about to be robbed by Linus again. Alright everyone, it's time for our favorite activity. That's right, handing out lazy people flowers so the town will like me. And as is a common tradition, I ran into a heart event while in the process of doing just that. And this time we have another heart event for Alex. He was on the beach tossing a football, and dude, how are you asking that now? We've only talked a dozen times. You let me know your sad, tragic past. How would you not know my... This kid is permanently in La La Land, I swear. Anyways, he played a bit of catch with me, and I fumbled like a moron. It wasn't even that far of a toss, my gosh. He said he still wanted to play professional sports, and man, the second option was just calling my name. But I just have this thing in video games where it's really hard for me to be mean, so I chose the first response, the safe, boring response. Who would have guessed? A second heart event right after the first, and now Alex is crying. Great. He was on the beach crying as today was the anniversary of his mom's death. Death anniversaries are tough. He was reminiscing about all the memories they had and wished he was able to tell her thank you when he had the chance. He pulled out her music box and it played a sad little tune, and little memories of her and baby Alex came up on the screen, which was kind of sweet. I told him to honor his mom's memory by doing the best he can in life. Seemed like a sweet yet motivational answer. And as we were leaving, he asked me not to tell anyone he was crying. The men in this town really don't want other men to know that they have emotions and hobbies, do they? I handed out the last of my flowers for the day and stopped by to check on my Monster Slayer tallies, and I'm 29 away from completing the mummy goal, and basically halfway completed with the serpents. Who knows? Maybe I'll be able to pull this off, you guys. I went ahead and sold a lot of the normal quality fruits and veggies I had lying around on my chest, like hundreds of them, and I made 130,000 gold. I'm definitely buying Little Miss Penny a nice home this time around, and I'm so excited. All right, you guys, we got another recipe, this time spicy eel from George. Thanks, George. You're all right. Today's luck forecast was pretty grim, so I'm going to hand out the last of my gifts for this week today and try to find something new to do. And as I was checking up on my animals like I do every morning, finally, my first dinosaur hatched. I was back and forth between names, but ultimately I went with Green Yoshi because they're green and I love Yoshi. Not very original, but that's what we're going with, people. Oh my... He's so tiny. I wonder if you can teach them to light up enemies that cross over on the farm. That would be cool. Such a sweet, little, adorable, innocent, prehistoric animal that probably shouldn't be alive. But I finally have one. I placed another egg in the incubator and went around handing out flowers, where I maxed out my relationship with Jas and Willie. And when I went to the clinic to give Harvey a gift, I entered a heart event. Yes. Of course I did. This one was for Maru. She was complaining about preparing samples at the clinic, and as I came through the door, it spooked her and she dropped the glass samples on the floor, shattering them. She was worried about what Harvey would say, considering the sample was now on the floor, and I told her to just tell him it was an accident. It wasn't my fault you got scared. People go through doors. You should have been expecting that, girl. And Harvey seemed chill about it. I can't see this guy getting upset, honestly. He seems pretty relaxed for the most part. I accepted a help wanted request for stone on the board outside of Pierre's shop. Seems easy enough, and headed to the quarry to mine the needed stone really quickly. I then ventured down to Robin's place to deliver said stone, and the gods have deemed that cutscenes come in twos. So let's see what's going on this time. Robin was showing off a bed she built, and Demetrius said the design seemed like an inefficient use of materials. Men. Robin's expression mirrored my own. That's why I like Robin. She keeps things real. He just couldn't let it go though, and Robin got irritated. Look at those furrowed brows. Demetrius, you better haul tail. Actually don't. You still freak me out. I told her that it was beautiful because it was, and even Sebi agreed with me. I knew I bagged a good one. And Demetrius left the room as he knew he was in too deep and just let it go from there. You actually did something smart for once. Your eyes still terrify me though. My last gift of the evening was for the dwarf, And here is where my friendship status currently stands. Kent needs 1 more heart, Pierre needs 2, as does the wizard. Clint needs 3 more hearts, Harvey is missing 1, George needs 3, Krobus needs 6 hearts, and both Sandy and the dwarf need 7. So it's doable, I think. 9 more people to gain max hearts with. I'll try my best. Once again, I was having rotten luck, so I held off on mining for another day. And so I was trying to figure out what to do instead. I don't want to decorate the house yet because I need to purchase the furniture catalogs. I don't want to craft new clothing quite yet as I need the money from selling cloth more than I need new clothes. I gave out my gifts already. Maybe I should check the request board? So I did, and there was a fishing request, and seeing as I've hardly fished at all this entire playthrough, I chose that request in the spirit of doing a new activity. So I went back to my farm to grab my fishing pole and headed to the beach to try and catch a few tuna. I was pretty lucky catching 1 after my 3rd cast, along with a treasure box that contained 2 golden mystery boxes. In a second treasure box I fished up, I found a new artifact I've yet to donate. I love that for myself. And I only managed to reel in 2 tuna, but if my fortune sucks again tomorrow, I'll try to fish for a few more. Today is another bad luck day, so instead we'll fish for more tuna. The bookseller is also in town, and I have a few books I saved in my inventory, so we'll see if I can purchase anything from him. Well, I was able to trade a few books for some stuffing and a slime egg press, both of which I didn't really want to waste my books on. Then again, does his offerings get any better? Probably not. Also, there were quite a few books I wanted to buy, but I need to save my money right now for Penny's home. I'm so close to reaching 500,000. I suppose I'll buy them next time. Alright, let's catch some tuna. And immediately, my tackle broke. So back to my farm I go to grab another fresh tackle for my chest, and to quickly buy more hay for Marnie because running out of hay is the story of my life here on Cluckingham Farm. I fished until 8 p.m. and I managed to catch 7 tuna, leaving only 1 more left to catch over the next 4 days. So yeah, I think I can complete this request on time. Why have the spirits been giving me nothing but bad luck lately? What did I ever do to them? So we'll catch that last tuna today. And I caught it on my first try. So hey, I completed another town request. I went ahead and used my prize ticket, receiving a mining book that I've already obtained, but it could be traded with the bookseller one day. Maybe. From there, I headed on over to Clint's and opened my golden mystery boxes, receiving a tackle and the same book I just received with my prize ticket. The spirits are messing with me today. I also stopped by the museum to donate the new fossil I found, and ran into a heart event where everyone was gathered at the library to listen to Elliot's new book he just finished writing. It was kind of cute watching him present his novel he's worked so hard on with the community. It seems like the reading went on for quite a while, as half of the community left, and he stopped right at the good part. That's a sick move, Elliot, but at the same time, clever marketing. He needs to entice people to buy his novel after all. I also decided to organize my museum collection while I was here. It looks a lot nicer this way and satisfies the perfectionist part of my brain. While trying to catch salmon yesterday, I had a monster of a fish on my line that I failed to reel in. And I have a feeling it's one of those legendary fish because while I was in the library, I read a few books and one was about legendary fish, one of which spawns near the beach in the summertime, which it currently is, and where I was. And I found out it could be seen on the east side of the beach. So you know what? Let's try to catch it. Oh my god, right away. First try. First catch too. I'm amazed at myself. That was unusually fast for me. So mark that off my bucket list. That's 2 of the 5 legends I've caught, I think. I know I caught one in the sewer, but I think besides this crimson fish, that's all I've reeled in so far. Maybe I'll make catching all the legendaries a goal for my next 100 days. I still can't believe I'm going to spend $500,000 on building someone else a home. I could buy so much with that, but I think it will be worth it. I'll get around to doing that in a bit, but Miss Fortune Teller told me I was going to be blessed with good luck today, so I'm taking that as a sign from the heavens above to go slay some monsters. And maybe run into more dinosaurs? On level 16 of the Skull Caverns, I found another crystallarium, which I could always use more of, but unfortunately, I didn't come across any dinosaurs, just a bunch of mummies and some serpents. The TV lady lied to me. I don't know if I believe you anymore. Alright, another day for Skull Cavern slaying, but first I need to craft a few more bombs, and I want to get Pam's and Penny's house secured before I leave the valley today. I made my way right to Robin's house at 9 a.m. when she opened up shop, and even though I'm extremely busy, that didn't stop Maru's next heart event from playing out. Alright, I'll see what you're up to, girl. She was building something in her room and wanted to demonstrate it to me, and she freaking electrocuted me. She basically tried to kill me. I knew she took after her father. What the hell, Maru? I'm choosing the sassier option this time around because yeah, you could have killed me. But now I feel bad because the cutscene ended there. I feel like I ruined the mood. Well, oops. Okay, moving on. Let's build Penny and Pam a home. Yay! And there goes all my money. Gone in an instant. So sad. But I've completed my bonus goal. I'm so excited to see the final product. Now let's go mining, and I better see dinos this time around or I'll riot, TV lady. I came across 2 dinosaurs on level 18 and even received another egg. So I'll give the TV lady a pass this time around. Alright, today is the first day of fall, so maybe I'll buy a few seeds to plant. But I need to give out some flowers first, and I kind of want to check my totals again at the guild. I have 19 days left, so I kind of need to see how my totals look. I also handed out gifts again. Boring, I know. Although I am probably going to have to try and do some digging for favorite gifts for a few of these guys. Otherwise, I won't be able to complete this goal in time. As for my totals, I'm close to completing the Mummy Slayer goal, and still have a ways to go with everything else. Situation is looking pretty bleak. The next morning, I received my first dino egg from Green Yoshi. Even though she's still so little, my animals work so hard for me. So I'm gonna use it and make some dino mayo for the Junimos. And I figured I need to start strategizing a bit more to force the dinosaurs to come out of hiding. And to do that, maybe I should try to boost my luck a bit. So I cooked a few dishes with the luck boost, 2 lucky lunches, and 6 spicy eel dishes. Maybe they'll help me out a bit. I hope they do at least. Well, my luck was pretty bad today, so instead I'll hand out the last of my gifts for the week. And now our new totals are as follows. 1 heart for Pierre and the Wizard, 2 hearts for Clint and George, and a bunch of hearts for Krobus, Sandy, and the Dwarf. I would prefer to hand out love gifts to the last 3 of the group, but so far only the Dwarf has given me hints on what he likes, which I believe is milk and dishes that involve cave carrots. I have no idea what gifts Krobus and Sandy love. Last thing I did before ending the day was donate the Dino Mayo to the Junimos at the abandoned Joja Mart. I want to make sure I do that before I forget. And now I have completed 2 of the 5 donations. I'm still heading into the mines today, despite it being yet another bad luck day. I figured I can at least up my skeleton and serpent totals, if anything. Stupid fortune teller. My 5th ancient fruit was ready to harvest, meaning we now have enough to donate to the Junimos, so before we head to the desert, I'm going to do just that. Now we'll have 3 of the 5 completed. And, well, I kind of forgot that I built Pam and Penny a home, and it was completed when I went into town. And it looks super cute! Oh my gosh, I'm so freaking happy. Robin, you outdid yourself, girl. Robin then asked if I wanted to tell Pam and Penny that I paid for the home. Part of me wants to be humble and just do a kind deed. The other part of me wants them to know that I spent $500,000 on this. And I don't want anyone else taking the credit for my hard work, so yeah. Let's tell them. Pam was extremely thankful to Robin for building her this house, saying it's been a dream of hers, and she started crying. Oh my god. And Penny thanked her too. It was really sweet. She told them that I paid for the house, and Pam felt a bit embarrassed by it and asked how she could repay me. God, I want to choose the nice option, but I just can't. I have to tell Pam to start being more kind to her daughter, even if that makes me seem a bit rude and pushy. And it almost seemed like she agreed to it just because she felt in debt to me and not because she wanted to be nicer to her daughter. Even Robin was like, bruh. Penny was once again too kind to her mom, but still coming from a place of understanding, which is why she's a sweetie pie. But Pam said she'll try to be better, which is more than I thought I'd get from her. I'll be watching, Pam. And they hugged, and it was pretty cute. Okay, I was mistaken. I need 5 golden ancient fruit, and I only have 1, so never mind. We are still stuck at 2 of the 5 donations. All right, well, back to the skull caverns, and it was a pretty boring dive. Serpents, mummies, but no dinos. Maybe I need to eat the luck boosting lunches on super lucky days? All right, today's the day. Don't let me down, lady. On level 4, I completed my Monster Slayer goal for the mummies, which is absolutely fantastic. And around 9 p.m., I found 1 single dinosaur on level 29. I mean, at this point, it's almost comical. On level 31, I was granted 3 life elixirs. That's pretty cool, I guess. And on level 33, I was gifted some more spicy eel dishes. And then it happened, you guys. I paused my game because I couldn't believe it. I stumbled upon a prehistoric level. Finally! Why did it have to happen so late though? There were only 3 on this level, which, yeah, I wanted there to be more, but so far I've destroyed 4 dinosaurs, which is more than I usually get, which is 0. I quickly headed to the guild to pick up my reward for defeating the mummies, and it was the same hat the wizard wears, I think. I'm pretty sure I'll knock the serpent ghoul out next, but you know, game, I'd really love it if I could stumble upon 26 more dinosaurs like tomorrow. That would be swell. I think today's fortune is better than yesterday's, so here's to hoping that we stumble upon more dino friends. On level 7, I found 1 dino friend, just 1, and that was it. You gotta be kidding me. The fortune lady is a total hack. I was so depressed that I didn't even care to leave the mines. Just let my depressed carcass rot in this cave of broken promises. Okay, let's do this again, shall we? Results may vary, but they better lean positive. On level 69, I found 1 single dinosaur. Whoop-de-doo. I'm sorry. But when I get a super good fortune that says I'm supposed to be super lucky, you would think that would mean monsters that are rare would have more chances of appearing, right? My god. I also forgot to mention that I leveled up my mastery 2 days ago, so we'll grab another skill later. I was just so pissed about the dinosaurs that it kind of just flew to the back of my mind. I think I need to take a freaking break from the skull caverns because they've done nothing but disappoint me. Instead, let's head back to Ginger Island. I miss the cute little birds. And I'm going to bring a farm warp totem with me since I have no idea how to escape the lava caves. Before we head there, a few orders of business. First, dino number 2 hatched, and I named him Littlefoot. I was going to name him Ducky, but I've had too much heartbreak with the dinosaurs the last few days. I didn't want to break my own heart by naming him that. If you know, you know. I purchased some hay because I was completely out, once again, and made my way to the mastery door in the forest and chose the combat mastery for my 3rd upgrade, which unlocks trinkets, a new equipment slot. Alright, onwards towards Ginger Island. Let's make progress in a different part of the map. And who would have guessed I'd find an abundance of ginger on Ginger Island? The way the plant was dancing the ground was pretty cute. Alright, my goal is to find new items and destroy as many of the floating fireballs as I possibly can. I finally found another golden walnut, making my current total 10, so I know I can give the parrot on the left side of the map his requested bounty, hopefully moving the turtle out of the way. But I'll do that next time. I'm focused on Monster Slayer goals this time around. On floor 5, I found another dwarf, and I purchased a ginger ale recipe from him, and now I know he sells a book I need as well. Reminder, bring diamonds next time. I will 100% forget. I managed to find 3 more walnuts and 2 journal scraps before leaving around 1 a.m. and quickly read the journal entries, one which hinted to stingrays and golden walnuts being found in the waters of Ginger Island. Another hinted that I need to shoot down the walnuts that I've seen hidden in the trees, and that made me remember that I have a slingshot that I've never used, so I guess it'll come in handy then. Alright, let's head back to Ginger Island, everyone. And first, I'm gonna give this parrot the 10 golden walnuts it's so adorably asked for. And after doing so, all of the parrots on the island ganged up and bullied that poor turtle into moving. I thought maybe they'd just fly him away, but whatever works, I suppose. In this new area, I found a home I could fix up with a small plot of land, which makes me think I could possibly make a home base here as well, with a small area to grow stuff. That would be cool. Or maybe it's someone else's house I need to fix up. Exploring some more, I found 7 additional golden walnuts, some slimes, and a blue door on the beach with a walnut on it, where it looks like I can only enter if I find 100 golden walnuts. Whatever is inside better be worth it. I then started making my way back towards the volcano caves, even though I kind of wasted the day exploring and gathering walnuts, and I gathered enough to offer another bird 10, and this little guy fixed the bridge for me. These parrots are handy little guys. It led me to an area with fossil rocks, I guess. While breaking them, I received a bunch of bone fragments and a bone artifact for the museum, alongside another journal scrap. I also noticed the sound of mining and saw a pop-up bubble of someone trying to get my attention, so I used a bomb to explode the boulder, and a little archaeologist guy popped out. The poor thing was trapped in there for quite a while, and I guess this is the dude who usually occupies that tent I've seen on the beach. His name is Professor Snail. I like it. He's been researching this island for over a year now and has survived off mushroom salads. Impressive, yet gross. I'm sure he'll give me some interesting quests to complete in the future. Well, I came here to slay fireballs, yet the day got away from me. That tends to happen sometimes. I opened up the journal scrap I found yesterday, and it looks like a dig spot, so I'll check that out in the future. I need to focus on monster slaying next time I go to Ginger Island. But today, we are focusing on friendship. That's right. It's gift-giving time. I know George loves leeks, so I'm gonna give him one. The dwarf, I think, likes cave carrots. The wizard and Pierre only have one heart left, so they are just getting flowers. And Clint gets any random food I have on my person. I don't care. And that leaves Sandy and Krobus. I'm lost on what to give them. So for now, flowers will do. I don't want to risk upsetting them. Sadly, I do not think I will accomplish this goal in the next 11 days, but I'll get as close as I can. And when it comes to the Skull Cavern Monster Slayer goals, I only need 2 more serpents and 23 Pepper Rexes. Seriously, those dang dinosaurs are going to be the end of me. I gave out a few of my second gifts for the week before 10 a.m. and then went to the bus stop, made my way to the desert, and continued to complain about not finding any dinosaurs in the Skull Caverns. I know I'll at least finish the serpent goal this time around, so that's something. And around 5:30 p.m., I completed the serpent goal, finally accomplishing something, but I've yet to come across a single dinosaur, as per usual. My frustrations continue to grow. Today I handed out a few more gifts, winning Pierre over to my side, and just sucked it up and tried again in the Skull Caverns. They have to show up eventually, right? I can't believe I literally only got lucky one time and haven't since then. Sucks. And y'all know how my day went. I don't think I need to narrate my disappointment each and every day. Okay, today is the absolute last day I'm mining in the Skull Caverns back to back. If I don't get a dinosaur level this time around, we're moving on to Ginger Island. I can only take so much heartbreak consecutively. I don't think luck dictates if I get a prehistoric level at this point. I think it's honestly random. Oh my god. Wait, let's get rid of the buzzing really quick. Oh my god. I can't believe my freaking eyes. It exists! Oh, I'm so freaking happy. So all I have to do is tell the game I'm going to rage quit and it gives me what I want? Dude, I can cry right now. I never thought I'd be this happy to see pixelated dinosaurs. And on level 13, the game blessed me with a prehistoric level, and I destroyed a total of 12 dinosaurs. What a beautiful, beautiful day. The first time I cave into the caverns, I was able to stumble upon 2 prehistoric levels, so now that one appeared, maybe I can find another? I'm not hopeful, and honestly I'm happy I even found that many in one day, but I'll keep going until I am forced to stop. On level 19, I found a stray dino and he dropped 2 dinosaur eggs. Lovely. That's a total of 13 dinosaurs today. I didn't find any other dinos or prehistoric levels, but I'm satisfied that I found that many at all, since I've usually come to expect none these days. But we are taking a break from the dino hunting for a while and turning our focus back onto the fireballs. After taking care of the farm animals, I used a beach warp totem to go to Willie's boat, since I rarely use totems, but they're extremely useful and I should use them more often, as they save a bunch of time. Alright, back to the lava caves. Let's destroy some fireballs. The first monster I defeated dropped some pineapple seeds, a new fruit, That's exciting. And now I'm certain that I'll be able to plant crops on this island, as it states to plant the seeds in warm weather. I managed to make it to level 10 around midnight, found a golden walnut, bringing my total to 3 for the day, opened up the shortcut to this outdoor lava area from the entrance of the volcano cave, which I appreciate, and found a prismatic shard in a chest. So I made some progress in the volcano mines, and maybe this is where the volcano mines end, because the machine in the middle of the volcano is some sort of forge, I think. And I don't know what I was doing, okay, but I wanted to try something, so I placed my sword in one slot, my prismatic shard in the other, and pressed the button. It gave me a Crusader buff on the sword. At least I don't think that was there before. And it does something, I'm sure. What it does, I don't know, but cool. I'll have to play around with it in the future. And right outside of the exit was another bird asking for 5 walnuts to build a bridge. I had 6, so sure, why not? Although I feel as though that was a bit of a waste. Too late to regret my decision. Alright, I found 3 journal entries yesterday, so let's quickly go through them. The first one talked about the dwarfs in another passage leading to deeper parts of the volcano, I think. I'll have to investigate. The second journal scrap was another spot with buried treasure, and the third was a cheat sheet for the forging table I found in the volcano. So down the line, I'll do more experimentation on my weapons. Makes me wonder though, if I've completed all of the Monster Slayer goals, will I even need to care about enchanting my weapons? Maybe my fishing pole? I'm sure that'll be handy down the line. I'll go back to the volcano tomorrow, but today is Sunday, so I need to hand out some gifts. I don't think I'm going to complete this goal, but if I can at least max out all hearts with the human NPCs in the valley, minus Sandy, I'll be happy. While handing out gifts, I finally won the wizard over to my side, leaving George with 1 heart and Clint with 2. I'm not confident, but I'll keep handing out flowers nonetheless. After giving the dwarf a flower, I checked my updated totals in the guild, and we have only 10 more dinos left to slay. So maybe? I don't want to jinx myself, but maybe I can pull it off. As for the fireballs, we have 90 left. It's possible, you guys. The friendship goal is a bust at this point, but I may be able to squeak out a victory with the Monster Slayer goals. Boyfriend, why don't you ever come to see me? And yet, you haven't asked me on one single date since then. Romance and chivalry truly is dead in this modern world, isn't it? I quickly made my way to the desert to trade all the jade I've been cloning for stairs for my next descent, and I need to make a mental note to bring bat wings with me next time. That butterfly hutch is calling my name. And while in my shed, I remembered that I have that seed maker I never use, and the ancient fruit plant has been growing way too slow for my liking. It would be nice to have a few more growing at once, so I threw one in, and I'll wait and see if it actually pops out another ancient seed. That was incredibly fast, and it popped out 3. 3 more seeds again? Okay, this is super useful. And because I want to give these plants a better chance to produce the star quality that I need for donations, I crafted some quality fertilizer before planting them in my greenhouse. I threw my other 2 silver quality ancient fruits in the seed maker, receiving 5 more seeds, and now I have 12 plants to grow, so my chances have greatly increased when it comes to receiving 5 gold star fruit in a shorter amount of time. The Stardew Valley fair is tomorrow, but I'm going to skip it this year as well because monsters. I'll let Pierre have a win for once. He doesn't deserve it, but I'll give it to him. I managed to slay 20 of the fireballs, and I even found 4 more golden walnuts, a few from monsters and a few from chests. Okay, 1 more day on Ginger Island, and then I'm gonna switch back and forth between Lava Land and the Skull Caverns. Yesterday, I found another journal scrap, and this one explained what the enchantments on weapons meant, so now I know that my Crusader enchantment deals more damage to unholy monsters. I'll need to study this letter before I come back to enchant my other tools. Oh, are you kidding me? I can't go today because of the stupid festival? Well, out of spite, I am still not attending. Fun! I love wasting my day when I have deadlines to meet. And so, I decided to test out a few wallpapers in my home to pass the time. I didn't put you there. How did it get here? Okay, weird. I'm confused and a bit freaked out. Does it move on its own? Okay, yesterday was supposed to be a Ginger Island day, so we'll pretend that it was. I kind of just want to hop back into the Skull Caverns and give it another go. We have 10 dinos left to find and destroy, so we'll see if I get lucky. Dude, yes! Don't ruin this moment for me. Oh my god, I cannot believe it. Please let there be 10 of them. Thank you to all of the stairs I used along the way, and to the RNG that played in my favor today. And there were 11 dinosaurs on this level. One more than I needed. I freaking did it. I cannot believe it. Day 97 and I completed the stupid Pepper Rex goal. Now all that's left are the flame dudes. I left the mines because screw that place and went to pick up my reward. I got a knight's helmet and a napalm ring, which turns enemy corpses into explosives. That's intense. While handing out the last of my gifts for this playthrough, I decided to buy the wizard catalog from Krobus so I can get a head start on collecting the catalogs, so I can actually decorate my farm properly next playthrough. Alright, and this is where I stand at the end of my friendship journey. I came in a bit short, sadly. I have 1 heart remaining for both George and Clint, 4 hearts for Krobus and Sandy, and 5 with the dwarf. At least it won't be too difficult to hand out gifts next time. And hey, I tried. I should have been more focused at the beginning, but oh well. Okay, today, Ginger Island Day. And yes, I'm going to try my best over the next 3 days to destroy 71 fireballs. Wish me luck. Upon destroying my first fire monster, I received a new item, a fairy box, which summons a fairy that heals me in combat. That sounds really cute and useful. And while going through all the floors, I managed to slay 18 flame dudes this time around. At this rate, I will not destroy the 71 needed, but maybe I'll destroy more tomorrow? All right, back we go, and I found a new item on floor 1, a dragon tooth. This was needed for some sort of recipe I saw at one point, so I know they must be important, right? On floor 6, I found a new tree sapling, a mango tree. Even though I'm doing repetitive, tedious tasks, I'm finding new things here and there, which is nice. And as for my flame monster totals, I defeated 18 once again. That seems to be my lucky number. Alright, last day of this 300-day playthrough, and I'm depressed because I don't want to stop playing, but also there is no way I'm going to be able to slay 35 magma sprites today. So that means I'm also not completing that goal. Dang, I was so freaking close for both the Monster Slayer goals and the friendship goals. At least I'll be able to complete them rather fast during my 400-day playthrough. Yes, I'm playing more. I'm going to 100% this game. I have to now. I'm in too deep. But for today, I just stayed on the farm, did chores, and ran around, and I decided to craft a few new things as well. 2 mushroom logs, 3 more kegs, 5 more looms, 1 mini obelisk, although I know I need 2 to warp, a campfire because that sounds super cozy, a slime incubator for next time, and 4 more lightning rods. I placed a few of the items down on my farm, and yes, a complete farm makeover is on my bucket list next playthrough. It's absolutely pathetic looking. I then gathered some hardwood, did a few more random chores, and ended my 300-day journey in Stardew Valley. Alright, so I came pretty short with my goals this time around, and my goals were probably a bit boring. I barely fished this playthrough, and my farm still looks like trash. That just means we have more things to accomplish next time. I hope this video was still enjoyable. I try not to worry about being perfect and just appreciate being in the moment when I play, so I hope that translates well in my playthroughs. But please, if you guys have any non-spoiler tips for the love of all things beautiful, leave them, especially tips on how to make money fast. I need to buy all the things next playthrough and make my farm cutesy and functional, so tips, leave them, please. I'll be continuing this series until I 100% everything in the game. Maybe I'll accomplish that in my next video, but knowing me, I highly doubt it. But I've been loving the game so far, so I know I'll have fun regardless. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next video.